Well, today is the big day for the Dogecoin crowd. You know, it's the SNL day with Elon Musk, and I'm looking at it right now, and it doesn't look like it's going too well right now for Dogecoin. Dogecoin currently at 51 cents. It has fallen from, I think the high was 75 cents. I got no room to talk because I was not really for Dogecoin, even when it was down at like 8 cents, and I was pretty vocally opposed to Dogecoin at 8 cents. So can't really say told you so or anything. It's down 26% right now to 51 cents, but I'm sure a lot of the Dogecoin crowd is in the profit. I can say that it doesn't surprise me that the event isn't looking so much like a good pumping opportunity. In my experience in investing, when everybody's doing something, I tend to either sit on the sidelines or do the opposite. That's usually my go-to in a situation like this. And, you know, with Dogecoin, it's pure speculation. And to believe that an SNL skit is going to skyrocket something like that, it just seems a little bit lofty of a situation. But I want to talk about some details that I talked about in the last video prior to doing this one. Literally yesterday I did a live feed ahead of this event because I wanted to kind of warn people and say my opinion on what I would do if I was in Dogecoin and I was up as much as I was. And this actually is still relevant with it falling 26%. What I would be in this, the thing that worries me again is the whole Robinhood situation. This is literally what happened with GameStop. Like, it's literally textbook what happened with GameStop. So you have it falling back, you know, an event didn't work out. And now we're down 26%. And what happens if Robinhood right now after this event, and keep in mind, people, I believe you can short Dogecoin. So, I mean, imagine it's falling down. You can't sell Dogecoin, or you only can sell Dogecoin rather, and they don't allow you to buy it through Robinhood. Coinbase isn't allowing you to buy it. To set up a Binance account, I believe it's a little bit of a process there. And so to the people on Robinhood, you're trusting an app that has proven to not be for it's taken from the poor and given to the rich. It's done the exact opposite of its name. In this video, I have to say that this is not for financial advice in any way, shape, or form. This is just my personal opinion, not to be taken as financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. I am just a YouTuber that likes to talk and spread some information out there. I was saying that I would have sold half and let the other half ride ahead of this event. I know that there's that Dogecoin millionaire guy who did a live stream with Andre just recently. I didn't have a chance to watch that, but I would imagine that he's holding with diamond hands. I don't know what the whole situation is, but this really, really smelled like a sell the news event. You know, just if this is the first time investing for you, what I would say, and say you're still up a little bit of money on Dogecoin, I would start researching some more into other cryptocurrencies. But the first thing I wanted to say, the reason why this is a very scary situation for me is something that I didn't say until the end of the video in yesterday's video, but I want to say it in the beginning in case you didn't have the time to watch an hour and 30-minute rant that I did yesterday. Who knows how long this one will be? We'll see what happens here. But the first thing I wanted to say was Dogecoin isn't a currency. So that's the whole storyline, and that's why I'm so scared about Dogecoin. And I'm somebody that's wrong about the price on Dogecoin. Even with it pulling back 26%, I can't come on here and be like, "Oh, I told you so." It's just be wrong. You can't do that, you know. So I mean, I was against it prior to 10 cents. So I mean, I can't say told you so. But in this situation here, what I can do is like outline exactly what Dogecoin is supposed to be. What is the bull case? The bull case for Dogecoin is that it becomes the currency of the world. It becomes a currency, an actual thing to barter with. Well, what I would say is it's not, and you have to understand the tax structures. Like, really study something before you believe a thesis. Actually study what you're talking about, what you're researching. Dogecoin is not a currency because when you buy something in your Dogecoin, you are declaring a capital gain. If you've made 3 million on Dogecoin, you only made 1.6. because you got to give 1.4 to the man, the tax man. That's not a currency. A currency, you could take that $3 million and go buy a house with it, and then you would pay the sales tax and all of that stuff. That's the tax you would have to pay on a currency, but not a capital gain. You pay your capital gains and then you get your currency left over and then you trade with the currency. But that's not what you have with Doge. You have a taxable event. So you have an asset. That's what Dogecoin currently is. So when they say it's a currency, I beg to differ because it's not. And so that was the thing that was bothering me about the Dogecoin situation was you can't get a loan against it. So my whole thesis, like the reason I have this silver out here, by the way, I'm from the silver scene. I like silver. I like gold. That's what I am into myself. The reason I have this out here is these are actually old coins here. These are old 50-cent pieces from back when our money was real, back when our money had 90% silver in them. So these are actual real. So this is what our quarters used to look like. And the sides of them were actually silver. You had a silver coin. You had a silver 50-cent piece. You know, these are our old 50 cents. That's a Walker 50-cent piece, 90% silver. You see the side of it, that's all silver. So these are real. This is what American currency was supposed to be. And it's a physical form, you know. So I love silver because I know what money was supposed to be. It's supposed to be something that's an actual precious metal that's hard to get. But the problem becomes this Dogecoin can't be a currency because you're, again, creating a taxable event. You have a digital asset that when you do buy something, even if it is to buy Mavericks merch, you've created a taxable event. If it's a $25 t-shirt, but you paid $1 for that $25 worth of Dogecoin, you have a taxable event that you made a profit of $24 there. So if you got $1 worth of Dogecoin that you turned into $25, you buy a $25 t-shirt, you have a taxable event of $24. So that's something you have to pay 40% on. And especially if it's under a year. So it's something that when you're doing investments, just don't fall for the hype for things. Really research the things that you're doing and make sure that you have a deep understanding of that investment. With Dogecoin, and why I think it's going to skyrocket Bitcoin is I think that after this event, I think people are going to understand why Bitcoin is the price it is. It's because it has a hard cap. It's because Bitcoin is the strongest blockchain on the network. The reason why Bitcoin holds its value and it's continuing to hold its value is because of its framework and its design. It's elegant. It's a closed loop system that ends at 21 million. And you can have fractional amounts of it. What Dogecoin does is it kind of tricks your mind in a way where you go, well, it's only it's just 70 cents. Well, now 50 cents are, hang on. And who knows what could happen? It could turn around and be $1 tomorrow. Who knows what happens? Right now it's 54 cents. You know, so say you look at that and you go, oh, it's only 54 cents, but you don't realize that you can buy 54 cents worth of Bitcoin. You can buy a fractional amount of Bitcoin. You don't have to pay $58,000 to get one Bitcoin. You can have a fractional amount on it. So it kind of pries on the psychology in a way, going, I can afford this much of it. But, you know, I would just, again, research a bit more about these investments. But let's talk some more about this. What exactly were we expecting Elon Musk to do here in this SNL? I watched a little bit of it. I don't know. Is it still going right now, or is it completely over? Because I watched just a little bit of it where he admitted that he had, I believe he admitted that he had Asperger's or something like that, which is interesting. I didn't know that about him. Well, you could have guessed, I guess, because he's a little bit socially awkward in a way, but he's pretty good at speaking, so he gets by pretty well, I guess. But, I mean, what were we expecting exactly for him to say? You know, I just don't really understand what the bull thesis is. It's like if you're betting all of your bet on a joke coming out on SNL, it's like, first off, who even watches SNL anymore? I mean, what a weird cast. I mean, I'll watch it just for Elon Musk, but what a weird cast. You got like Miley Cyrus up there, and they're like, it just seems so odd to me watching these previews and stuff. And I'm thinking, this doesn't add up. This doesn't make too much sense. What are they really going to do here? But it's like, but here's the scary part. The scary part is you have a sell-off event now, right? Now you're up a lot of money in Doge. You're up a lot, but you're trusting Robinhood with a third of this. That's wild to me. This is a very scary scenario because when it's going down, what if Robinhood decides tomorrow, they go, oh, we can't handle this again. They did that over $2 billion last time. Let's go over the actual numbers here. Over just $2 billion with the GameStop situation. It caused them to halt the trading for their buddies Melvin Capital, just saying my opinion on it. And then they basically allowed that stock to get shorted down. All you could do was sell. You couldn't buy, so it created a panic frenzy, and it dropped it down. We're trusting Robinhood with 30% of this, and Coinbase isn't even allowing you to buy and sell Dogecoin? That's sketch. Guys in the Dogecoin crowd, that is sketch. So first off, it's not a currency. It's not a currency, and the only way it can be a currency is if it goes through a government process and they change the tax codes, which I highly doubt that will ever happen. Jerome Powell has already gone on the record and said, oh, Bitcoin is just a digital gold. It's just a digital gold. We consider it just a little, digital gold, internet money. It's whatever. If you tell him, oh no, we're creating a currency with 130 billion units out there, they're going to either highly regulate that or it's not going to get passed through as a currency. They're not going to allow that. So to me, it's lying to yourself to say that this is a currency because it's not. Whenever you buy something, you are creating a taxable event. Whenever you sell it, and you exchange it for dollars, you're creating a taxable event. No matter what you do with your Doge, you can have the most diamond hands of diamond hands with Doge, but you are going to not have a currency. Period. It's a big lie to say that, cryptocurrency. It's not cryptocurrency. It's crypto assets. That's the truth. And that comes with experience of understanding what the tax codes are and experience with understanding how to shelter money the appropriate ways. The best way, the reason I'm so big on Bitcoin and my first and only is silver. I grabbed a little bit of silver just to show in this video why I like silver. It's beautiful to be able to see a stack of real money. And I like the bars personally, but I wanted to show that our coinage, all the United States coinage used to be made out of silver and gold. And I love my metals here, but the only reason I was able to be one of the few precious metals guys that actually enjoys Bitcoin and loves Bitcoin is because I know I can leverage it. I'm all about leveraging. That's my goal. So when I can leverage my inventory, I can leverage all these different types of things in my business, but I can leverage my Bitcoin. When I heard Michael Saylor say that for the first time, I'm not the one who came up with this. I heard Michael Saylor talking about this, and I recommend watching him. If you're new to the cryptocurrency space, if you just got in Dogecoin and you just learned about cryptocurrency through Dogecoin, take this as an opportunity. You don't learn from being right all the time. You learn from your failures. So if this doesn't work out for you, if it turns around, then bravo. But if it doesn't work out for you and it ends up falling down and Robinhood shuts down trading and doesn't allow you to buy it anymore and only allows you to sell like they did with GameStop and AMC because they're being trusted with a third of Dogecoin, if that happens again, take the L and then learn from it and then learn about Bitcoin, learn about tangible investments, learn about the actual real, cryptocurrencies out there. And I'm not saying Dogecoin isn't a real cryptocurrency, but the thing is, here I am saying cryptocurrency. I consider them crypto assets. But the reason, again, why I got into Bitcoin is because I learned I could leverage it. I learned that I can give, I believe it's BlockFi is one of them, but there's all these different institutions that are giving very favorable loans for Bitcoin. And I imagine that those loans get more and more favorable as it stabilizes. So as Bitcoin, it seems relatively stable here. It's kind of just sitting flat. I mean, the dollar index dropped like 40 cents. Most people aren't talking about the dollar index right now, but the dollar index, I believe on Friday, closed pretty badly down. Yeah, it closed at 90.25, and the dollar index was crashing, which is actually the value of the dollar relative to other currencies. So the actual dollar is really volatile itself. So when people say, oh, Bitcoin's very volatile, the dollar is going to be very volatile too. When it drops 40 cents in a day, that's pretty volatile. You're talking about 40 cents out of, a full dollar. If it can drop that much, it's not exactly stable itself, but there's going to be more and more favorable loans. They already exist where you give them your Bitcoin and you get fiat currency against that. Now, why is that important? What's important about that is Bitcoin is far different than Dogecoin. not only from the hard cap, not only from being a much stronger blockchain, but also because you are, and this is the biggest reason and the main reason why I'm so bullish on Bitcoin in addition to my precious metals, it's because you can leverage it. If I want cash, so if I would say this will blow your mind. If this is the first time you've ever heard this, if you're in the Dogecoin crowd and you haven't heard of this yet, this information here is like the ultimate information to know about cryptocurrency and protecting your wealth. So if you believe in the upside of cryptocurrency and you don't have any institutions that are allowing you to leverage your asset, you got a major problem. Because Bitcoin is very unique to Dogecoin. What's very unique about Bitcoin is that you are able to leverage against it. And when you leverage against it, you not only have an asset, but you also have a cash flow currency. Very big deal. Very big deal. Don't overlook that. If you have an asset where you've stored your money, you can diamond hands, right? You can diamond hand Bitcoin and then also use that capital to leverage against it and get free dollars against your Bitcoin position. And the loan rates are relatively cheap. Somewhere between they're starting to go down a little bit. I'm seeing between 5% to 8% annual, which is a really good loan for getting that kind of a loan, a collateralized loan. It's pretty solid. And you get the money wired directly to you. So you give them their Bitcoin, they wire the cash right into your account. So put it into this perspective. You're this Dogecoin millionaire guy, right? He's got $3 million in Dogecoin. Well, not anymore, but he did have $3 million in Dogecoin. So say he had $3 million in Dogecoin and he decided, or let's imagine that there was an institution that allowed you to leverage the Dogecoin. In his scenario, he was talking on Graham Stephan's. I'm sure everybody in this live feed saw those videos with him. Really cool guy too. That's why I'm hoping he sold half or something because he's a really cool cat. The way, if you watch that video that Andre did with this Dogecoin millionaire guy, lives super frugal, reminds me of living in the warehouse myself, and just had this little bike in the background and lived super frugal and just below his means. And he made so much money that he doesn't really know how to respect it yet. And so, I mean, it happens to the best of us, and maybe it turns around. Maybe he does, well with it. But back to the point, if let's say that he had Bitcoin instead of Dogecoin, he had 3 million. His goal was to sell his Dogecoin at 10 million, I think was his goal. But in this scenario, he didn't want to sell his Dogecoin, right? So let's imagine he had Bitcoin. He doesn't want to sell his Bitcoin. He's diamond handing the Bitcoin. He has $3 million worth of Bitcoin. I believe he started with only 180,000, turned it into 3 million. So in this scenario, let's say he has $3 million of Bitcoin. He really, really wanted a Tesla Model 3 is what he was talking about on that Graham Stephan interview. He's like, I really wanted Model 3, and Graham's like, you can get it right now. You can do it. Just sell it. You can get a Model 3 right now. What are you doing? He didn't, and this is where it's different. If he had $3 million in Bitcoin, he could have just given $1 million of it over to BlockFi or whatever the companies are that are doing. BlockFi is one of them. You give it to them and you get a loan against it for 50% against that. You get a free $500K right into your account to play with, and you never had to sell your Bitcoin. You got $2 million in your wallet somewhere. You give them $1 million of it. You get a $500K loan against it at 8% annual. You go take that $500K, you go buy a Tesla Model 3 tax free. You did not create a taxable event. Do you know how much money you just saved yourself in that situation? Do you have any idea? If you sold $1 million that you turned in from, if you made that kind of a gamble, it's like a 30x return. So he got something like a 20x return. He would have had to pay on that 500,000 in this scenario. He would have had to literally give away 240,000, somewhere in that range, 240,000 just to the tax man. So by taking a loan against it, he's essentially getting free upside on his Bitcoin and free capital to play with at a very low interest rate annually, rather than just selling it and losing 40%. So he gets the upside. He still owns his Bitcoin when he pays off the loan. He gets his same amount of Bitcoin back. He gets the upside, and he gets his Tesla Model 3 now. Doesn't have to wait until he sells it and creates a taxable event like he would have to do with Dogecoin. He gets to have it's so much potential to that. I mean, do not overlook how big that is. You do not have that opportunity in Dogecoin. It's a huge thing. And I waited till the end of the video to talk about that in the last live stream. And I wanted to bring that up more towards the beginning of this video because in a debate, when you're making an argument, you want to find the needle to the balloon. You don't want to dance around with the small points. I mean, Robinhood's a very big point to talk about, but you want to find the one point that's like, okay, here's your balloon idea, and I'm supposed to counter it with my counter. You want to find the needle that's like, oh, that pops the balloon. I believe you now. And to me, that's the needle in the argument. Being able to leverage the currency as an asset and not have to pay capital gains on it, that is the needle to the balloon of Dogecoin, in my personal opinion. That is why I'm all in on Bitcoin, because they provide you such a brilliant opportunity to do that. And it's like, I mean, but what many people don't understand when they're getting in Dogecoin, they're hearing that line, oh, it's going to be the future currency. It's going to be the future currency. Guys, don't listen to Mark Cuban because he's a billionaire. He's using you. Mark Cuban never believed in the cryptocurrency space. He was always very anti-cryptocurrency. Only recently he had a sit-down meeting with his press secretary or whatever, his PR team, and they said, hey, you know, what's the upside in this? Well, we got billions of people talking about Dogecoin. What do we have to do? Oh yeah, sell them the cheapy merch in this and let them buy tickets to my own stadium. I have no downside there. And we get all the upside from the free marketing. It's very conniving what he's doing right now. He's not buying $1 billion in Dogecoin. He's not really supporting Dogecoin. He's taking Dogecoin for his merch, and he's using that for free advertisements and selling out his stadium for the Dogecoin crowd. He's using it to his advantage. So if the truth is, it's not a currency, and no crypto is a currency until it's actually until there's actual like regulation that comes out that allows you to use crypto as a currency. It's not a currency because it's creating a taxable event every single time you use it. So if that's the case, this is my thought process on crypto and why I'm all in on Bitcoin. If that's the case, well, then I want the ultimate storage of wealth on blockchain. I want the one that has a hard cap, the most established blockchain that's been around the longest. I want that one. That's the one. There's a reason all of the other ones are altcoins. And the only other one to me that interests me is Ethereum because it's programmable. That's what I love about it. And the other thing about Bitcoin is, let's say they do try to regulate Bitcoin. They would be damaging multi-billion-dollar positions in institutions. And so immediately we get their legal team in the Bitcoin space. So say that some, regulation that doesn't make sense comes out and it damages the price of Bitcoin because Powell says they're going to regulate it or whatever they do. They say something about Bitcoin. You immediately have all of Tesla's legal team. You immediately have all of MicroStrategy's legal team because that actually creates damages to them. They have a huge multi-billion-dollar position in Bitcoin. And if they do create some type of defamation of Bitcoin, they would have real damages. So by holding Bitcoin, you essentially have these billion-dollar legal teams. There's so much upside to Bitcoin, and those would be the main two for me. And the other aspect, though, of the main thing is letting Robinhood have this much power again. I can't believe that the retail crowd has allowed Robinhood to have this much power. I'm so bummed out about that. Dogecoiners, all you Dogecoiners out there, you're an awesome bunch. That's the thing. It's like it's very hard to hate on a Dogecoin crowd because they're a really cool bunch and they band together. They're about making fun of this. They're making light of this situation and kind of enjoying the space, but it's like, it's hard to hate on them. So I want to spread real information so that you're welcome to cryptocurrency in a good way rather than taking a gamble and maybe learning a hard lesson. I mean, where's Dogecoin right now? It's like, I don't know if it could double. You never know what it could happen with Dogecoin. But the truth is, even if it doubles, you got to know that when you sell your Dogecoin, you're creating a major taxable event and you're going to lose roughly 40% of that just by paying taxes. Whereas I get to keep all my Bitcoin. I keep it all and I get a loan against it. So if my Bitcoin goes up over 10% a year, I get free money against my Bitcoin. My Bitcoin is just a sitting storage of wealth in the digital realm that I can always leverage off of when I need capital. Leverage off of it, pay it back. Leverage off of it, pay it back. I get my Bitcoin back. It's So brilliant, that strategy. And again, I'm not the one that came up with that. That's Michael Saylor was the first person I heard say that. And I looked into it and I'm like, wow, this is actually real. You can leverage against your Bitcoin and not declare a capital gain. It's incredible. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at Dogecoin. Dogecoin right now, it's popping back up a little bit. It's at 56 cents right now. So I mean, I don't know what happens. I really don't know what happens with Dogecoin. It's lost fourth place right now. It's back down to fifth place. So Binance Coin took its spot back. But Dogecoin is, it seems to be holding over 50 cents, which is good. But could you imagine being that guy worth $3 million in Dogecoin, watching it go down 500K? Oh, it's probably so stressful right now. I'd be losing it. I got to watch that video they dropped on with him in it, but that'd be super stressful. But those are all I wanted to quickly bring up the main reasons why I'm bullish on Bitcoin and what brought a precious metal stacker into the cryptocurrency space. Those were my reasons on why I got bullish on Bitcoin. Just point blank. So rather than saying the bad things about Dogecoin, I'd rather just tell you the good things about Bitcoin and why I'm such a Bitcoin maximalist and why I want to help teach the Dogecoin crowd about cryptocurrency. Because I mean, a lot of you are probably most of you are still up a lot. And I mean, you have an opportunity to learn from it and grow. But let's hang on. Let me go through some of the comments here. Look into crypto Cardano ADA and its dynamic founder, Charles Hoskinson. You won't be disappointed. Cheers from Vegas. I appreciate the advice. Brave New Order Films says, look into Cardano ADA. I've heard about it. I've been looking into it a little bit. I need to dig a little bit deeper into Cardano. From what I hear, it's trying to be a competitor for Ethereum in a way. I don't know. My whole strategy with cryptocurrency is I have to see major adoption before I jump into something at this point in the game. In the very beginning, when you're getting your first nest egg together, when you want to get your first 10 grand, your first 20 grand, your first 30 grand together and get that original nest egg to start a business or whatever it is that you're doing, you got to take some risk. You got to do these Dogecoin type situations. You got to do these, whatever it is, to take some kind of risk to get that little bit of capital together. And so in that aspect, I can respect the Dogecoin crowd. But once you do get that bit of capital together, that's why I'm so critical of this guy that made $3 million on Dogecoin trying to diamond hands it just for the clout. I mean, I was looking in that, I'm just thinking to myself, dude, you have life-changing money. You got the nest egg together, bro. Take the nest egg off the shelf. You got it. Now build something real with that. Life's not about gambling. It's about getting that nest egg together and then building something real with it. Because if it comes so easy, you don't respect it. And odds are, you lose that money pretty quick when it comes that easy. You'll do some stupid things you didn't think through, and then out of nowhere you lose all of it. And so I really strongly believe in getting that first nest egg together by taking risks, and eventually you end up coming through with something big from that. But in regards to the person that brought up ADA, I have to look into it some more. I can't comment on it because I'm not as well informed on that. He says, the awesome Einstein is gone. However, Tesla is very cool. Einstein said some good quotes, but the more I look into it, the more I research between Einstein and Tesla, Tesla doesn't get nearly the support he should have. He's way ahead of Einstein, like way ahead, not even close. So I actually decided to take down the Einstein and put the Tesla thing there on purpose because I believe he's just way bigger. But let's go through the comments right now. If I don't think I missed any of the super chats, I'll make sure that I don't miss those. I really appreciate it when you guys do that. Yeah, we got those too. What's up, Kyoki Moore? Kyoki Moore in the house. But what were we expecting from Elon? Like, what were we expecting here? I mean, how could we have gotten? That's where we were talking about in the live stream. We were all talking together about this. I want to pick everybody in the live stream's imagination. I want to pick your imagination and go, okay, what were we expecting out of Elon Musk here to really prop the price of Dogecoin? An announcement that Starlink is accepting Dogecoin, an announcement that Tesla's accepting Dogecoin. What exactly were we expecting from him? I don't know. It just seems to me like it's a very big risk to gamble this kind of money on just an SNL skit with Miley Cyrus. It just seems so odd. And so, I mean, the only people that really benefited from Elon Musk going on SNL is SNL, because SNL is losing their ways. Like, SNL hasn't been fun to watch for, like, I don't know, ever. It really lost its way. Like, it used to be funny. I remember when I was like I was a bit younger. It's like, who was watching SNL? The only person that really gained from this situation was SNL itself, that got Elon Musk to go on there and promote their show. Because from what I've seen, their views on this versus their views on prior videos, way off the chains due to Elon Musk. And I mean, Elon Musk, what interests me about Elon Musk and what proves this point is he's just a walking marketing machine. The guy is a walking marketing machine that can reach out to hundreds of millions of people with a flick of his wrist. Like, that's a powerful, powerful dude. And, you know, people like Elon Musk competitors, let's say in the auto or the energy industries, they have to spend a lot of money on marketing. And if you notice, Tesla doesn't spend any money on advertising and marketing. It's because their CEO is literally a free marketing machine. The guy's got like over 50 million Twitter followers. One flick of the wrist, one tweet reaches out to 50 million people plus instantaneously right in his pocket. No news outlet can compare it all to the power of Elon Musk. Not even a little bit. So the Dogecoin crowd, you got the ultimate marketing machine. It's more than just, in today's day and age, what's so interesting about social media, like with this YouTube video, for example, if you decide to click the subscribe button, which, shameless plug, please click the subscribe button. If you're not subscribed, it really does help the channel. But if you do click the subscribe button, essentially you're part of an ecosystem. And that ecosystem is kind of like, I always call it like building the tail in a way, because it's attached to you all the time. Prior to social media, if they went live on the news, right, that video's gone forever. Think about the day and age it used to be in like 1990, when you just had like the lower end televisions. When they went live, that video, gone. They'd talk about an event. The person would be speaking about whatever the news was. Video's gone forever. You know, if there was some comedy thing that went up, video's gone forever. It wasn't posted to YouTube because YouTube didn't even come around until 2007. So because of the power of social media, Elon Musk it's much more than like, oh, this is the cool CEO. No, this is a marketing machine that reaches out to hundreds of millions of people at will. It's extremely powerful and extremely valuable. And I overlooked that, I think, with Dogecoin. I didn't overlook that with Tesla. I always thought like that's a very big incentive to invest in Tesla in the early days of Tesla, and why I was so captivated with the stock back then, back in like 2013, 2014. Now, not so much because they've gotten so big on their market cap. But back then I would think about that, and it's like, this guy is just a walking free marketing machine. Could you imagine the power that is? I mean, he could do anything he wants. He came out with like a little boring hat, and he put the boring hat up for a thing, sold out in a minute. He comes out with flamethrowers, puts a flamethrower up for a minute, sold out in a minute. Like, the guy just is a walking monster of a marketing machine. So if the Dogecoin crowd, and keep in mind, people were giving me crap because they're like, you know, you were calling it Dogecoin. Remember when you were calling it Dogecoin and you were laughing at it at 8 cents? Now you call it Dogecoin. Well, you know what? When it goes up to a $90 billion market cap, I won't call it Dogecoin anymore. I don't think I have the right to call it Dogecoin anymore with that high of a market cap. I just have to, bite my lip and be wrong. If there's one thing, if you've been part of my channel for a long time, if there's one thing I want you to know about me, I own up to stuff. I'm not right all the time. My strategy is to be less wrong. That's literally my strategy. My strategy is every day I wake up and I'm like, how can I be less wrong today? Because I know I'm going to be wrong about a lot of stuff, but how do I be less wrong and more right? It's not about just only being right and then once in a while you're wrong. It's like, no, you got to be less wrong. That's the best way to phrase it. And so I can't call it Dogecoin anymore. As long as it's over 50 billion on its market cap or whatever it is now, it's like, I can't call it Dogecoin. I have to call it Dogecoin. I have to give it respect because it won the race to where it is now. But what I'm worried about, wow, it just dumped to 51 cents. It just dumped to 51 cents, like in the blink of an eye, from 56 to 51. Could you imagine this guy with $3 million? Well, he had $3 million in Doge when it was at 75 cents. I mean, wait, at 75 cents, it drops to 51 cents. That's like, what's that, like 35% of a drop? Jeez. Whew. Guy dropped $1 million. He dropped $1 million in like a couple hours. Oh my God. Could you imagine losing $1 million in a couple hours? Woo. Painful. That's heavy, man. That's heavy. But again, I don't have the right to say told you so. I mean, in the video I dropped yesterday, I said if I was this guy, I would sell half. I'd sell half in front of the event. And that's what I think a lot of people probably did in the Dogecoin crowd, because they're going to realize, oh, you can't make a joke on SNL that's going to prop up a $93 billion cap. That's a heavy cap to prop up. It's a very, very heavy cap. But, I just feel bad for that guy, because the thing is, like, if you watch the first video this Dogecoin millionaire did with Andre, he's a cool cat. He's such a cool guy. How do you not love this guy, the Dogecoin dude? And it's like, he's such a cool dude. He lives so beneath his means. He's not flashy about anything. He just is living in this little studio apartment. I wanted that video that I dropped yesterday to reach out to him, because everybody was bashing on him so hard and saying, just sell all of it, sell all of it. I was like, dude, sell half of it. Sell half of it and let the other half ride, And I don't know if I saw him on some other channels where he's like, no, I'm not listening to Andre and Graham. I'm going to diamond hand it, And it's like, dude, there's such a risk to gamble with life-changing money like that. Because at the end of the day, you got to understand the tax structures. And most people with Dogecoin, like, they're just ill-informed in the way that you have to give up 40% of your gains, regardless if you buy something with it. Say a real estate agent is like, okay, you can buy a house with your Dogecoin. You're still going to have to give up 40% for that. Whereas I could get a loan against my Bitcoin and put a down payment down and keep my Bitcoin and never create a taxable gain. Do you know how big that is? That saves me 40% of my money. If I turned $1 million into 10 million in Bitcoin, and I have $10 million and you're a Bitcoin winner, if you sell your Bitcoin, you just declared a $9 million capital gain, and you're going to have to give away somewhere between $4 and $5 million. Just gone. So you didn't make $10 million. And this is like some real advice for people that, think that you get $100,000 a year. They try to fool you with that when you get out of college. Like, oh yeah, we got $100,000 a year job for you. Oh, yeah, hey, tell everybody at my hometown I got $100K a year job. No, you didn't. No, you didn't, bro. You got a $60K a year job, because they're going to take that right out of your W-2, 30 to 40% right out of your W-2. They say that line, $100K a year. It's not getting $100K a year. But then it gets juicier than that, because you probably got to go to Palo Alto or some real expensive place to live, Santa Monica, wherever it is. You got to go to some type of Silicon Valley place. You got to pay $2,000, $3,000 for your rent. By the time it's all said and done, you're making $1,000 a month if you're lucky. So you got to look into the structures of things. Don't get bamboozled by a big number. Like if you really turned 1 million into 10 million in Dogecoin, you think in your mind, oh, I made $10 million. No, you didn't. You made 4 to 5 after everything is said and done. No, you didn't. It's not a currency. It's considered an asset. When you sell it, you're going to have to pay a capital gain. And so I really want to stress that to people. And the back door with Bitcoin is getting a loan against it. I can't say that enough times. I repeat myself in my videos, but that's something I really want to repeat, because it's such a big deal. It's such a big deal. Please understand that. And I just hope it helps some people out there and why I'm in Bitcoin. It took a lot for me to join the cryptocurrency space. I love silver with everything. I've had my entire net worth in silver multiple times. And right now, what is it, 50, 60% in silver? I love silver. It's hard for me I consider silver my bank, because I get to see it. It's right here. I can touch it. I know it's real. For me to get out of precious metals, it took a lot. And I realized, I went, oh, you mean I can put assets in the digital realm and get loans against it in the future and still enjoy the upside of that asset that's finite. So they're diluting the dollar like crazy, and I can store my money in a digital realm in a safe little cold storage, and I can get a loan against it, you're telling me? And I don't have to pay that capital gain. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm in on Bitcoin. I like it now. Like, that's what it took for me. That and understanding the way that the blockchain works and the mining operations. The blockchain is way more established. The mining operations is way more established with Bitcoin. There's so much going for Bitcoin. It's just hard for me to understand. And the main thing is like the biggest hole in the argument of Dogecoin is the whole crowd is going, well, no, it's going to be the currency of the future. It's going to be the currency of the future. You don't understand. And I'm telling you back, no, you don't understand. It's not a currency. It's not defined as a currency. It's never going to be a currency unless there is an adoption of it, which isn't going to be any time in the next 5-10 years. You know, it's going to not be something that you can just go buy something with because you're going to have a taxable event, at least for the near future. So study the tax codes of things and understand how leveraging works. How do the rich keep getting richer? I will teach you in a quick crash course right now. The rich keep getting richer. And this is like, they don't tell us about this in school. They don't teach us how to make an LLC. They don't teach us how to make a capital holdings company. This is stuff I'm going to talk about more in my channel later on in future videos and stuff, because I had to learn it myself. I had to learn how to build a capital company and an LLC underneath it and how to rent from my own capital holdings company and all of this type of stuff. They don't teach it in school, but it's all the same principles as getting a loan against the Bitcoin. It's all the same principles. So how do the rich get rich? I mean, richer. You know, they have let's say they have a corner property in New York. They own the corner property in New York. They then rent it out to tenants and they take that cash flow and they get that cash flow off the property. So they never have to declare a gain on the property because the money's tied up there, and they get cash flow from the tenants renting it. What do they do with the cash flow? Well, they either reinvest it or they'll declare the gain on the cash flow. But odds are they'll probably reinvest it and not declare any gains on that because that's just what they do. But if they sell that corner property, then they use a thing called the 1031 exchange and they move it into a bigger property and they don't have to pay any taxes on that. It's a non-taxable event. When you move it from one property to a bigger property, it's called a 1031 exchange. And then they cash flow on that property. And then they use these properties to get loans against them with the bank. The bank comes to you and you go, well, what do you got for us? Well, we have $3 million worth of real estate in New York or $10 million worth of real estate in New York. Okay, we'll give you a loan. Here's your loan. It's back to the properties. So they use those properties as leverage. They don't have to declare a capital gain. They get a loan from the bank for pennies on the dollar and they get another property to do cash flow. That's the way the game works. It's all about leveraging and not declaring a gain. That's the situation. So raising the taxes only hurts the poor and the middle class. That's what many don't understand. And that's why I preach libertarian philosophies, because we're often tricked. Raising the taxes only hurts the little guy. It really does. Because at the end of the day, the uber rich are going to shelter their money and they're going to not create taxable events. And this whole situation in Dogecoin is just going to be an eye-opener towards that fact. And that's why I love Bitcoin so much. You're able to have and actually own your money. If you have a hard wallet, you are literally a bank. You are literally a reserve bank that owns your own capital that you can deploy whenever you want. That is so powerful to have a cold storage, to actually be a reserve bank. And if you don't know what a reserve bank is, you used to go there with, a stack of your silver, and you would go to a reserve bank and go, I need you to hold this. I need you to hold this for me. I will pay you an interest rate to hold my bag of silver, because you know why? My bag of silver is probably appreciating and I just need you to be my depository holding it. So a reserve bank, you used to actually have to pay them an interest rate. So you'd pay them 2% a year to hold your silver, but they didn't mess with your money. They didn't play with your money. They put it in a vault in the back. That's what a reserve bank is. Now we have fractional reserve banking, which basically actually they don't even have that anymore. They can just do whatever they want now. They don't have a reserve bank. When you give Chase Bank your money, they just literally go, oh, thanks for the free loan. We're going to go short GameStop. That's what happens at these banks. You want to take away the power of the banks? Get your money out of there and put it in Bitcoin and put it in silver, put it in gold. That's how you get back at the big banks. You want to know how you get back at Melvin Capital? It's not by getting their short. It's not by doing that. It's by taking their power away. And you take away their power by stop giving them free loans. These guys are jerks. They're jerks. We ask for a loan from them. It's like we go, hey, can I get a loan from Chase Bank or whatever? Oh yeah, we need 12% or 8% or whatever it is. They need a bunch of money every year, right? So if we need their money, oh yeah, it's a super high interest rate. But when we ask for a loan from them, it's what are your assets? What do you have? This is what it's going to be. It's like, but when they get our money, When they get our money, we give it to them for nothing. Free loans for them. 0.0 whatever. Not even a penny on the dollar they'll pay us. We pay them 8 cents, 12 cents on the dollar per year. But for our money that they hold and get to do whatever they want with for years and years and years, it's not even a yearly thing. For however long they want, they get a free loan from us forever. That's got to stop. If we want a real thriving economy, we got to stop allowing the banks to give us a bad deal. You know, I love negotiations. It's one of my favorite things I do about my job is negotiating. And we got the bad end of the deal on this one. These banks are ripping us off as people, not certain people. Everybody is getting the bad end of the stick with these banks. They are ripping us off and we are giving them free loans. It's so wrong. It's so wrong. They need to be adjusting for inflation through these banks. It's so simple how they solve our problem here. Well, if our inflation is at whatever percent it is, they say 2%, it's probably 10%. These banks need to be paying us 10% on our capital every year, just like we pay them when we want a loan. They got to pay the same amount. That's what I think they should implement in a law. What they should implement in the law isn't creating a higher capital gains tax so everybody suffers. That's not what they should do. What they should do instead of that is they should go after the big banks and say, hey, what interest rate do you give the people on their money? Jamie Dimon. Oh, well, we took all their stimulus checks and we put it in our accounts and we use it for free and we give them nothing for it. We give them 0.01. It is what it is. That's what Jamie Dimon does. That's their big secret. Their big secret is they get free loans from you and me. They get free loans all day. And they leverage that money for free because they're not a reserve bank. You know, it's so wrong what happens here. But if people really want to get back, that's how you do it. It's not only about just silver. It's not only just about Bitcoin. It's not some ploy to get somebody to buy into this. It's to get back at the banks. You really want to get back at the banks? Stop giving them a free loan. They don't get to hold my money. They don't get to hold my dollars. My dollars don't exist. I don't give them my money. I don't like giving them a free loan. I get the bad end of the stick. You give them your money to sit there. All you have is an ice cube melting that they get to play with. That's the truth. And at the end of the day, you got water left and they got to play with the ice cube and turn it into more ice cubes. It's not fair. It's not just. What they have to do is put your ice cube in a freezer and keep your ice cube the same size. That's what they should do. And the only way that they can do that is by stop giving us a bad end of the deal, Jamie Dimon. Stop giving us the bad end of the stick, all the CEOs of Wells Fargo, Bank of America. And then how criminal is it that if they fail after ripping us off for years, if they fail over there at the big banks, then they come to us to bail them out like we did in 2007 with our taxpayer money that they diluted. It's their fault. They diluted it. Not only did they dilute it, but they didn't compensate for the dilution. They gave out all of this loans to dilute the dollar. Then they didn't give us interest rates against the money. It's criminal what they do. It's criminal, in my personal opinion. I'm not a financial advisor, not to be taken as advice in any way, shape, or form. Disclaimer. I might not know anything. Could be completely wrong about all of this. Disclaimer. But that's the truth. If you guys really want to know the truth, that's the truth. And I wanted to share that with you. And I've had people in my videos that don't know where I fall politically or whatever. I'm a libertarian. That's what I am. I believe in free market capitalism. I'm a libertarian and I don't shy away from it. I don't hide from it. That's who I am. My whole philosophy is the American way is just get away from me. Get away from me. Leave me alone. Let me build my business. Just stay off my lawn. If I had to summarize the American way, we've lost that way now. It's not about, all of these different things that the government can do. It's get off my lawn and let me build whatever I want to build. Just you guys handle stuff with the other countries. Make sure we're all cool with everything. That's your job over there. You're supposed to be a small government. And what we do is build the economy and build up our fellow citizens here and just get away from us. Let us do our thing. And imagine if that happened. So all of that whole rant talking about the banks is really just to talk about leveraging. It's really just to talk about interest in leveraging. And those are things that are just not taught in school for some reason. Even if you go to a finance class, it's 20 minutes of reading from a textbook from 1982 that you had to pay $300 for. It's just not, it doesn't make sense. all the information that you need to learn in this day and age is right there at your disposal on YouTube. It really is. So that's why I always preach that whole YouTube premium situation. And I don't get anything from saying that. I don't think so, at least. But I mean, I remember the first time I did that YouTube premium, and you can play it in the background of your phone, put on some wireless headset when you're cleaning up, learn something. Put on a Jordan Peterson podcast. That guy will probably help you out a bit. The information that's available at our disposal. I mean, if you want to learn about Dogecoin, you want to learn about cryptocurrency, I'm learning new things every single day. Like, want to know something funny? When I say like I got YouTube Premium and it makes it so that I can watch YouTube easier and it doesn't have the ads and all that stuff, it's like, I think I lose money by saying that, actually, because then my ads don't make anything. So don't get YouTube Premium. No, just kidding. But I think it's brilliant. I think it's totally worth it. It's like, what is it, $18 or something, $12 a month? And some people are paying $400 for a textbook from 1982 to learn economics. Like, literally. These colleges are forcing you to buy a textbook that's like 10 years old or whatever, and you got to pay a bunch of money for this textbook, and you don't even want to learn from that textbook. The guy you want to learn from is a guy like Michael Saylor, who's a billionaire and knows what he's talking about. That guy's for free on YouTube. It's like, yeah, throw the textbook in the trash can, save your money, and learn from YouTube. We live in a different day and age now. College was a great thing for our parents because that was the only way you could get knowledge back then. But now, if you're the youth in this day and age, so if you're in this Dogecoin crowd, odds are you might be the youth, and if you're the youth, I just really study things that you love, study things that you're passionate about. Life's too short to be doing prerequisites. I hated that in college. Oh, well, you don't want to take this class, but it's a prerequisite. It's like, no, I'm trying to be an entrepreneur. I want to learn about LLC formations. I want to learn about capital holdings companies. I want to learn if I should be an S Corp or a C Corp and all. I want to learn about that. I want to learn about social media marketing. Where are these classes? Well, you actually got to take psychology to get to that as a prerequisite. It's like, I'm a squirrel. I want to climb the tree. You're throwing a squirrel in an ocean, and I want to climb the tree. I'm not a fish. The fish is going to be good in the ocean with the psychology class. I want to climb the tree and put some silver in the tree. I'm a squirrel, and so it's like they try to turn you into something you're not, those prerequisites. Anyway, I've gotten pretty far off the subject at this point, but it's really the truth. And sometimes I'll go on these rants and these live streams, guys. I hope it's not a problem. It's just the way I roll sometimes, but hey, the apes and the silver squirrels get along. We get along. What's that funny? We get along handsomely or whatever. Famously, the squirrels and the apes, we get along famously. That's the saying, right? But no, I just wanted to go on that rant basically to talk about how ripped off we are by the banks. And it's not just about you got to take a step back from the blinders of it, because with the GameStop movement, you kind of have the blinders on and you think to yourself, only in that tunnel vision perspective, and you go, oh, they're ripping us off because we weren't able to buy GameStop and they were shorting it and we got the bad end of the stick there from this. No, it's way bigger than GameStop. It's way bigger than the small micro cap stocks that happen there. The bigger scenario is they are getting their power at the bank from getting free loans from us, the citizens, and then giving us a bad loan when we want one. That's how they make their money. They get a free loan and they get to play with our money. Like, how crazy is it? We give them, say I give them $1 million, right? I give the big bank $1 million. I go, here's my $1 million. They take my $1 million and loan it out to 10 different individuals and make 8 to 10% on it, whatever they make. It's like, you take my $1 million and get 80 grand on my $1 million per year at 8% times 10. So you turn my $1 million at 80 times 10, you go and then turn around and make my $1 million into $800K a year annually just through interest off of my $1 million. And that's only if they leverage it 10 times, or they probably leverage it much more than that because there's no cap on their leveraging now. So it's like, it's just, they get away with so much over there at the bank. They get away with so much. It's so wrong. And the fact that they get away with that much and they make that much money and they have the audacity to keep the interest rates at nothing, the audacity of these individuals. Like, that is what the movement needs to be about. Not if Dogecoin is better than Bitcoin, or Dogecoin is better than silver, or silver's better than Bitcoin, or Bitcoin's better than gold. It's just about stop getting the bad end of the stick. It's about telling the big banks, hey, you got to compensate for the inflation of the dilution of the dollar. You got to compensate for this inflation rate. And if you don't want to give us a good interest rate on our money, if you're not going to give us a good loan if you're not going to pay us right for the loan that we're giving you, then we're taking our money out and we're going to go put it into this Dogecoin or this Bitcoin or this silver or whatever. That's what the movement needs to be about. It needs to be more about camaraderie. Less butting heads, less mine is better than yours, more spreading real knowledge, helping individuals, and growing together to find the common enemy. That's what it needs to be about. And that's what I love about being a libertarian. It's more just about spreading knowledge and just the philosophies of individual rights, individual sovereignty. That's what we need to be about. Not about this drama of how we spend this money or where these helicopter loads of money. If they really wanted to help the economy, they just wouldn't tax us for 5 years. Do you know how much the economy would thrive? How much the economy would thrive if they just stopped taxing us? If you get a W-2, I was a waiter. I was a waiter for 3-4 years. And I remember every time I got my W-2, all the money taken out of it. I don't know if you remember, but I would look. Everybody who gets a W-2 looks. I'm wrong about everybody who gets a W-2. You look at that and you go, social, what, this is that, took this, took that. Where did my money go? What did you guys do with my money? You guys owe $30 trillion. What'd you do? What'd you need my money for? You guys got unlimited printing presses over there. Why you need to take my money, bro? I'm over here trying to make a buck. Working my tail off, and you just take my money from me before I even get to touch it. And that's the problem with the W-2, and that goes back to the argument with leveraging your money. It's not, when you build your own business, you're able to spend that money on, write-offs prior to them taking it. On a W-2, they just take it. That's the difference. And so what they're teaching you in college is how to get a W-2, and you get $100,000 a year, and that's the American dream. That's not the American dream. Working for somebody is easy. You're just taking orders. The hard thing is being part of the 5% of businesses that actually make it. That's the hard part. If you can make it in the 5% of people that actually can build a small business and actually become profitable, and then if you become a millionaire from your small business, you're probably part of the 1% of the people that can make a business and thrive. But we're taught for some reason how to do the easy thing. We should be teaching kids how to increase that gap of being a successful small business. We should be figuring out how to make it so that more than 5% succeed at a small business, and they're not wrongly taught. That's what we should be teaching in colleges, is how do we change that 5% to 20% of people succeeding that try a small business? How do we help that change to there? That's what should be the difference. But everybody's been told this lie of, you get this $100,000 a year out of college or $60,000 a year out of college. No, you don't, because they take it right out of your W-2. They take it right out of your W-2. It's just they know exactly how much you're making. They know you can't write it off. You can't buy stuff with it. They just take it right out. And then they say, I'll give it back to you at the end of the year, whatever. Only a little bit. Only a little bit until after they get their cut right off the top. That's just like the ultimate wrong thing. But again, if they wanted to really fix the economy, they wouldn't raise taxes. They would get rid of them. That would fix the economy. Imagine you get your W-2 check and there's nothing missing out of it. You just get the whole thing. How much would that change your life? Would that help you more than the $1,400? I think it would. Everybody that's getting a W-2 out there that you know how much gets taken out of your W-2 every 2 weeks, I think it would help you a lot more than that $1,400. I think that if they just didn't tax you and they let you keep all of your money, I think that would help you a lot more. And you want to know what's even crazier about it? Here's what's even crazier about it. When you actually analyze the real numbers behind it, they only make about $3 trillion a year in revenue from taxes. We don't know exactly what 2020 is. Maybe it's lower from everything that happened, but they make about $3 trillion a year in revenue, but they spent $15 trillion. Think about that. Technically, they could have not had taxes for 5 years based on all of the money they printed with these stimulus packages. So if they really wanted to help the economy, they could have just not taxed everybody for 5 years straight. That would really help the economy. That would help people employ more people and save money. If the businesses didn't own 50% or owe 50, 60% in California now, because California has the state tax on top of it, which is personally, I think, criminal. But if they weren't taking 50% or 60% of your money, they could employ more people. And not only that, but the people that are employed getting the W-2 would get to keep more money so they can afford more groceries and they can afford to build their own business one day and save their capital. But worse, if you didn't dilute the dollar If you didn't dilute the currency that they're paid in the first place, they would have a currency that would actually be deflationary in its own right, or not inflationary at least, or at least stagnant. And it used to be back to gold and silver for that. So you were paid in gold and silver when you got a note back prior to 1971, but now it's just a bunch of fake money. Now it's just we're getting paid, and not only did they dilute it and make us pay, now they're wanting us to pay more taxes. They want us to pay more taxes. That's what they're saying now. And then on top of that, they used the dilution of the dollar as this scheme to say we're helping with the stimulus. I say scheme, I don't mean that in like I know people are suffering, but I'm really trying to teach you guys the truth here. It's like you dilute the dollar, so we have to pay more taxes on our wages that are probably deflationary going down. So if you make $4,000, you're probably still making $4,000 a month, or you might have even lost your job in this time that we're in. So wages as a whole are probably going down right now. So you got wages going down. You're making the same, if not less. You got a dollar that's diluted. And then they want you to pay more taxes on the small amount of money that you do make after they diluted the currency. And then it gets worse. The banks don't even pay you interest to compensate for the dilution that has happened. It's like, in what backwards world do we live in today? What backwards bad end of the deal? This is some Rick Harrison Pawn Stars get talked out of a 20K item. I don't know if you guys have been in those videos. That's a tricky rabbit hole you go down if you start clicking those Pawn Stars videos. Oh man, I'll go through those because I love negotiation. So I'll watch these and I'm like, he's coming back at 10%. He's coming back at okay, but it's like this is the bad end of the stick here. Aaron, Aaron, you do this every live stream. You got to say it at least 100 times before I read your comment, Aaron. At least 100 times. I think you're at 72 of the same message. I need at least 100 of that same message for me to read it. At least 100. But yeah, and you're only at 76, so you need another 24 to go, bro. But yeah, I get fired up about that thing. And that's, I guess I kind of want to talk about that too, because a lot of the Dogecoin crowd sees me as like, oh, he's a boomer. It's like, I'm pretty far from a boomer, guys. I really am, you know. I'm not in my teens. I'm in my 20s, but I'm pretty far from a boomer, I promise you. But I just looked into the fundamentals of Dogecoin, and my biggest reason why I didn't buy Dogecoin is, you know, please look up the cowboy skit Elon Musk did about gold. I will look it up later. But guys, if you keep doing that with the red things, it's messing up my live stream. I'm going to have to hide your comment, guys. I'm going to ban you guys if you do it. Like from right now on, don't do it anymore. I'm going to ban you. It's not right to do that. It's messing up the live stream. So I'm just letting you know. I'm not going to do it yet, but if it happens, it keeps happening, I will. Cause I like to let everything roll in my live stream. I really do. But I will do it. Just don't make me do that because I don't like doing that. Just don't spam stuff. I literally don't even have a moderator in my live stream. So anything really goes in my live streams because I want people to be able to call me out. I want people to be able to say whatever they want. But let's go move on to Ethereum. People want to talk about Ethereum is what they're talking about now. Ethereum, the reason why, I mean, I see the need right now in this day and age right now. Now, here's the thing. If the tax code changed, and they allowed cryptos to actually be a currency, you see, it's falsely categorized. Just like they say common sense. Common sense is uncommon sense. It's falsely categorized. You know, not everybody has common sense. It's not common to have common sense. It's inappropriately categorized. But in the same way, cryptocurrency is inappropriately categorized. When they say cryptocurrency, none of them are a currency. None of them. None of them are currency. All right, hit field throw. That's another one of these little things. I'm gonna have to. I don't want to ban you guys. It's not what I want to do. Can you just be cool? Like, come on, man. Yeah. I mean, that's the truth. And I mean, I'm just dropping. I want to drop some knowledge bombs. You know, I want to drop some stuff that people aren't talking about. And the truth is, no crypto is a currency. Not one of them. Not Litecoin, not Ethereum, not Bitcoin. None of them are a currency until they are allowed to be. The definition of a currency is being able to be exchanged without a taxable event. That's what a currency is. Even though we have to pay sales taxes, it's like, oh my gosh. Our founding fathers would be so bummed right now. They're like, this is what you guys are allowing? This is what you guys are allowing? How did you word the Constitution like this? It's clear English. It's clear English, you guys. You allow them to tax you at 40% and raise that? And then banks to give you nothing for the dilution that they do while they charge you 8 to 12%? Oh my gosh, what is wrong with you guys? You just lost it. You lost it. They'd be bummed right now. But the back on that conversation, it's like none of the cryptos are a currency. They're all assets. They're all considered assets when you do your taxes and you go to a CPA. You can learn this yourself. If you sell your Dogecoin and you buy something with your Dogecoin, say this. So let's put in this scenario. You're on Reddit. You're on Reddit, right? And you find a guy that wants to sell you his house for $1 million in Doge. You're this guy that's a Dogecoin millionaire, right? You want to buy your house that's $1 million in Doge. And this guy goes, I will accept the Doge. So you found the guy to accept your currency. That's the whole argument, right? That's what everybody is saying in the Dogecoin space. They're saying, okay, well, no. People are accepting it as a currency. And I even, the thing is, to prove that I'm fair about this, when Tesla accepted Bitcoin, I made this same video. And I bashed on that idea as well. I'm biased towards Bitcoin, but if you guys have been part of this channel, you know that I'm telling the truth right now. I said right when Tesla was accepting Bitcoin for their cars, I'm like, I won't do that. Give me a loan against my Bitcoin. I'm not giving you my Bitcoin. I'm not creating a taxable event. No way. That's a bad gimmick. I'm not doing that. I made that video prior to the Dogecoin hype. So that's how you know this is real information. But back to what I was saying. If you find a guy that will accept $1 million in Dogecoin for their house, on Reddit, let's say, and you meet him in person, you find the guy, you put it together, you give him $1 million in Dogecoin, you're this guy who turned 180K into 3 million in Doge. The second you give him that $1 million in Doge, you better be able to come up with another 400K, because that's what your tax bill is going to be. Point blank. So before people think it's a currency, you don't have to do that with your dollars. It doesn't happen like that. You pay a sales tax. You don't have to pay 40% capital gains or whatever your capital gains rate is. That's the biggest knowledge drop on cryptocurrency, on preserving wealth I could possibly give to my audience. And that's real, genuine facts. It really is. And if you like that information, please throw me a thumbs up, because that's all I ask on my channel. It's no strings attached over here. I actually, I try to not even monetize my videos too much. I only put like, I found out that you can only put like one ad or whatever. And so I try to make it so that my videos get out there more. And all I ask for is a thumbs up, a like, and being a subscriber would be awesome. I'd love to have you as part of the channel. These are the kinds of things I talk about. But honestly, I mean, I don't know where Doge is right now. It was going down a bit. It was down to 51 cents. Let's see where it's at. See, hopefully it can hold over 50 cents for him. It's at 57 cents now, so it's bouncing back up. That's a good sign. It's a good sign. You know, it's down 25% today, but the thing is, it's down 25%, but to give it credit where credit's due, I mean, if you look at the weekly chart, it was down at 36 cents on the weekly chart. So you got to give it credit, you know, from where it started. I mean, a month ago, this was 6 cents. A month ago it was 6 cents. Yeah, it pulled back 25% today, but it's still up there quite a bit. If I was in the Dogecoin space, what worries me terribly, here's what worries me the most. I haven't even watched this full SNL skit. And so if you want to know what my thought is on right now in Dogecoin, what I'm thinking happened, I haven't watched the SNL skit, but if I do watch the SNL skit, which I will after this live stream, I imagine what happened, it was just a joke. It wasn't this big of a deal. And then it sold off Dogecoin, because if it was some announcement that Dogecoin is being held in the Starlink satellites and Tesla's buying Dogecoin or whatever the crazy news would be to get it to jump up to a 200 billion cap or a 300 billion cap or whatever they're expecting. If that happened, we would see Doge jump to $1 or something along those lines, but it didn't. It's been selling off a bit. My guess, it was not that big of an event that people were expecting. So that's my guess. I haven't watched it yet. I would rather just make I made the live stream yesterday saying what I would do, and that was that I'd sell half. And that's just my personal opinion, not to be taken as financial advice. But what I'm thinking happened was not that big of an event with Dogecoin. And because of that, I mean, in the next few days in Dogecoin, what I'm worried about is people are very nervous and they start selling off their Dogecoin, or the latter. Let's say it was a big event and more people want to buy. It's like a lose-lose scenario. So if it's not a big event and it probably is just a joke or something that's not going to be taken too serious and will fizzle out, if that happens, you get a downside in Dogecoin. However, let's say best case scenario. Best case scenario, some really interesting news drops that's going to make Dogecoin go to the next level. Elon Musk tweets Tesla buys $2 billion in Dogecoin. Some very, very big event happens, right? That's best case scenario. But here's the scary part. You're trusting Robinhood. What happened last time when you had a stream of people looking to buy in and they controlled the assets? A stream of people are looking to buy in. The big banks pull the puppet strings of Robinhood. They give all that information to the big banks. And from my knowledge, they're allowed to short Dogecoin. And I've heard of some big firms that are shorting Dogecoin. I could be wrong about that, but I saw a few tweets saying, hey, we're short Doge. So they're shorting it. And if that's true, you have the same exact situation. It's like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. Who is it on? Shame on me. It's like that's what this situation is. If we're trusting Robinhood again, just go watch the initial interviews with this Vladimir guy. The guy he genuinely didn't care. Then he went to his PR people who then taught him how to care. And then he went on this PR campaign to pretend like he cared. He did not care. The whole GameStop movement got destroyed by this Vladimir guy who was the Robinhood guy that only allowed people to sell their position. And now 30% of Dogecoin is all being trusted in Robinhood. And these are all new investors. It's ironic to me that this Dogecoin millionaire guy doesn't even have his Dogecoin in a hard wallet. It's like, dude, you can't even take it off of Robinhood. You're trusting Robinhood with that kind of money in a speculative crypto, and they have 30 to 35% of it. That is scary. So in the best case, in an upside scenario where people are rushing in to buy Dogecoin, they could shut that down like they did with GameStop. The exact same scenario, shut that down, say they don't have enough capital or whatever their weird excuse was. And that was only over $2 billion with GameStop. They said, oh, we had a $2 billion liquidity crisis. It was over $2 billion. It's like, what? We're talking about a $93 billion crypto here that you hold $30 billion worth. It's like, and that number's changed now. I mean, I think it's 50-something billion now, but still they hold over 10 billion worth of this, 15 billion worth of this. It's way more than 2 billion. So if you have the same type of a liquidity situation, they could shut that down, only allow people to sell their Dogecoin. Coinbase isn't allowing you to buy it, which is the other big one. And then you got to go to Binance or whatever that is. And it's actually kind of a process to get that set up. So, I mean, I don't know how I feel about it. I think it was a big marketing ploy by Robinhood, and I don't trust them over at Robinhood. They're puppets. They really are. When you don't pay for that, and the whole Robinhood situation is only proof of not my philosophies, but the philosophies of being a libertarian. When you believe in a free market, nobody is going to provide a good for free without an incentive for them. When you get something for free, what's the first thought that crosses your mind? Well, what do you want from me? What do you want from me? Why is this too good to be true? What do you get out of me? Well, when you do that with Robinhood, the too good to be true aspect is they're giving you a free trade. They're giving you a free trading platform. So you got to understand that is not a free market in a way. But if it is, you basically know that they have to get something out of that. And what they do is they are puppets for the big banks. They're the puppeteer. That's how they make their money. They got to make their money some way. And it's by giving away their data to the big banks. And what are the big banks doing? Probably figuring out a way to short Dogecoin. Like, just my 2 cents on it. It's scary. And so, I mean, props to all the Dogecoin crowd that made a lot of money. I was really vocally against Dogecoin at like 8 cents again. And that's why I've been calling it Dogecoin. I called it Dogecoin. I was really negative towards Dogecoin to like the highest degree. Did not like it. I'm not a fan of it. And now I'm looking at it more so like, wow, you've created a very interesting network of people that are new to the crypto scene. Let me try to help share the little bit of information that I know. Let me try to share some little bits of information that's taken me, I don't know, a year or two to learn the little bits of information I know. Let me try to share that with you. This isn't a Patreon. This isn't a paid thing. This is just my YouTube channel, and I want to share this information with you. If it helps you, smash the like. Really does help when you smash the like. People always say, smash the like, smash the like. It does help. It helps when you do that. And it really helps if you want to be a subscriber on the page. It's crazy. I started my channel in July of 2020. So I'm not like a long-term YouTuber. I've been building my company, Mineral Exchange, for the past, 5, 6 years? Maybe it might even be 7 years now. Time goes by really fast. But I decided to start making this YouTube channel in 2020. And then it's blown up into where it is now. And it's just like, I'm humbled by how far it's grown right now. It's 21,000 subscribers in less than a year is pretty wild to me. So all I can do is say thank you and just keep putting the money into the page. I mean, the funny thing is, like, I don't have a sponsor for a microphone or like the fancy boom stand or the new computer I put in and stuff. If you've been following my channel, my live streams were really choppy. They weren't really doing too well. So what did I do? I learned how to use OBS. I learned how to make the streaming software more efficient. I learned how to make it so that my bit rate was higher and all that different stuff. This is all just self-taught things. Like I didn't even know what platform to use. So it's like my whole philosophy is just teach yourself whatever it is you want to do. I didn't know how to stream. I went on YouTube and learned how to use OBS. Like that's literally what I did for like 2 hours yesterday. That's why the live stream was so late. I was learning how to connect the OBS and change it. I wish YouTube could handle the spamming things for me. Hang on. I think I got them. Cool. But yeah, I mean, that's all the things I want to talk about really about this whole thing. I mean, we've done 1 hour and 15 minutes now. But yeah, that's the truth. I mean, a lot of people think that it's like it's not an overnight thing, but momentum is a crazy thing. You know, if you put in momentum and you put in hard work, or if you put in hard work and you start building momentum, really good things follow. And so that's my whole thing, is just put in a lot of work and then eventually, but see, the thing is, I still have the comments. Ray over here saying Dogecoin is the future currency. I won't even say Bitcoin is the future currency. I won't even say that, because none of them are a currency. And that's comes with time of understanding the situations that we're in. You know, it really does. It comes in time and you go, oh, okay. None of them are a currency. They're all assets. They're all taxed like assets. So you can diamond hand as much as you want, but if you don't have a way to leverage it into whatever currency you need to leverage it into, then you don't have anything but a speculative asset. Not even an asset, because you can't leverage against it. So it's like Dogecoin is a currency that is taxed like an asset, which is not what you want. You want an asset that's taxed like an asset, but can leverage like an asset. That's what you want. And that's what Bitcoin is. That's what Ethereum is with the staking and everything. You want that. You don't want something that is a speculative asset. It's not a currency in any way, shape, or form. And that's the truth. So props to everybody that made money on Dogecoin, but it's not going to change me from telling the truth of the situation. I'm still going to tell the truth. Elon did not disappoint. All right, what did Elon Musk say? What did Elon Musk say? I want to know. What did Elon Musk say? Because we've been doing this live stream this entire time. Let's see, where's Dogecoin at? Dogecoin's still at 56 cents. I mean, it doesn't seem to me like it's going in that direction right now. Vinny, yes, I'm completely self-taught. I dropped out of college with 58 units done. I couldn't take it anymore. I didn't even get my associate's degree. I just was like, I had this economics professor that got under my skin, and I'm like, I'm out of here. I'm going to go be a waiter. But yeah, no, I'm self-taught. I don't even have a mentor or anything, but it's the truth. And I'm learning new stuff every day. But I want to share on my YouTube the little bits of information that I do know. It was cringe is what people are saying about this SNL skit. I mean, it doesn't look like, Sergio said he didn't disappoint, but I mean, it's at 56 cents. So it seems like a sell the news event. You know, what could happen, you know, in a best case scenario, maybe it falls down and Elon Musk tomorrow says, I bought this much Dogecoin or something. I don't know, but he's putting himself in a very big trap in a way. It's like he's got to, I just wish Elon Musk and this is why I was so kind of angry at Elon Musk in the beginning of this. It's just because why did he not just teach everybody about Bitcoin from the beginning? You know, like he got into Bitcoin in the mid 30s. That was pretty low on Bitcoin. And so it's like, I would just say Bitcoin really does have the potential to have the same market cap as gold. Bitcoin seriously does have the same potential. And that's roughly a 10x return from here. So it's not, I mean, Dogecoin, the goal was to get it to like $3. No, it's like to get to $1. So you're talking about like a 30% return on something you can't leverage. So you get this 30% return, and when you sell, you got to pay 40%. That makes no sense. If I get a 30% return on my Bitcoin, I keep the 30% and I leverage against it. It's way better. Way better. So what Elon Musk should do is like preach the real information, in my opinion. I mean, it's fun, it's cute, it's a cool concept. And what I love about it is that at least a lot of new people are getting into Dogecoin. Because they're getting into Dogecoin, at least they're learning about cryptocurrency, rather, is what I mean. Because of them getting into the scene, they're learning what cryptocurrency is. They might learn like, oh, I don't want to trust Robinhood. I want to get this into a hard wallet. And I would imagine, wait, you guys can answer this for me. I would be willing to bet, I don't know this answer for sure, but I'd be willing to bet that Robinhood isn't allowing people to take their Dogecoin out of the platform. I would bet that. Am I right? Am I right? Who has their Dogecoin in Robinhood? They don't allow you to take it out, do they? I don't even know the answer to this, but I would be willing to bet that they do. They don't allow you to take it out. They make you stay in it, I bet. Because that is how you get the power, is when you put it into a hard wallet, and that's what you can do with your Bitcoin. You can put it into a hard wallet. You can with Dogecoin as well, but I believe it's only certain ones that are allowing you to take it out. And so basically, they are taking the power from the people. I mean, really, it's like, how do we even know they have that Dogecoin in a way? You know, you can't take it out, right? Okay, so that's wrong. That's wrong. We're trusting Robinhood to hold the Dogecoin, and they are not allowing you to withdraw the Dogecoin into a private wallet. That's wrong. That's not cool. That's sketch. So just a prediction, whatever volatility happens in Dogecoin, 30%, the biggest whale in the room, that's a bigger whale than Elon Musk, is trusting this Robinhood. This is not Robinhood. This is the opposite of Robinhood. They have proven in the past they steal from the poor and give to the rich. So the whole movement that's the biggest flaw. The biggest flaw is that you can't leverage it, and they're saying it's a currency, but it's not. It's an asset. That's the truth. It's a hard truth. I mean, it's a bitter pill. It really is, and I don't want to like hurt people's feelings about it, but it's not a currency. Period. It's a taxable event where you have to declare capital gain. I don't know how many times I need to say that until people understand it's not a currency. But the scary situation is the biggest whale is Robinhood. That's the whale. When people always say that line, like, okay, well, where is most of Dogecoin held? Oh, well, the top 40% hold, the top 1% hold 40% of the Dogecoin. What about Robinhood? They're the biggest whale. That's a 35% whale that is one wallet holding all the Dogecoin. What happens if Robinhood gets hacked and they get the Dogecoin out or something? What happens if they don't allow you to sell your Dogecoin, they freeze it or they halt it on their platform? You don't own in crypto. So if you're a Dogecoiner, welcome to the crypto world. Here's your first course in the crypto world. And I guess I'll teach the first course in the crypto world for the Dogecoin crowd if you're new to the crypto world. Not your keys, not your coins. There you go. That's rule number one. You're like, what's first rule of Fight Club? Don't tell anybody about Fight Club. First rule of Crypto Club, not your keys, not your coins. Anybody in the cryptocurrency space knows that I am telling the truth with that line. And that is the biggest flaw ever, to trust a company that has done this in the past, to have your keys and your coins have all of the power. Not only that, dude, not only do they have all of the power, but they are the platform that allows you to buy and sell it while holding all the power. That is so wrong. Oh my gosh, I can't believe Elon Musk hasn't seen that coming. Oh my gosh, that's so wild. That's so wild to me. Not your keys, not your coins. Everybody that's in the crypto space, whether you're an Ethereum guy, whether you're a Bitcoin guy, whether you're a Monero guy, whether you're whatever you are, Cardano, not your keys, not your coins. That's the truth. And so that is everybody in Dogecoin. That is problem number one. That's problem number one. Yeah, I don't think I'm smarter than Elon Musk. I think that Elon Musk is very like, I think Elon Musk is probably the smartest guy maybe on the planet. Like the things he's doing, at least he's the most revolutionary type person on the planet. I'm nowhere near on his level, but I can tell you that I think he's a little bit like distracted by the fact that he's a billionaire on how much money means to people. Like to him, money is like it's like a joke. It's just thin air of leveraged money of crypto, not crypto, but of Tesla stock. Like he poofed. This is an individual that poofed 300 million in his pocket in like a year. You know, he created some platform, sold it to PayPal for 1.5 million and took 300 mil and just put it in his pocket, just poofed 300 mil in his pocket. He doesn't understand the like flipping of burgers and saving money and being a waiter or whatever it is to save money as the common middle of America folk. You know, he's not that. That's not Elon Musk. So I think he's a little bit distracted by that on a mental level, I think. And so he'll play games with money that he thinks is a game, and he genuinely doesn't mean bad by it, but money doesn't mean anything to him in the same way to other people. That's what I think Elon Musk is suffering from. I just think that he just sees it as a big joke in a way. And money is a joke. I mean, for the Dogecoin crowd, I mean, the truth is the dollar is the ultimate meme coin. It's the dollar, even more so than Dogecoin. You know, the dollar, at least Dogecoin has a capped inflation rate. The dollar doesn't even have a capped inflation rate. We don't even know how much the dollar is going to inflate. So, I mean, that's how I feel about it. I genuinely feel that he just doesn't like, he can't like give real information about money to the average middle middle class. The average middle class or even the lower classes, like he can't give information out because it's not in his mental. I mean, imagine being like I think he was, what was he, like 28 or 27 or something? I think he was in his like early 30s or late 20s when he made $300 million. And that's after he made, I think, 100 million selling Zip2. So PayPal was after that. And so and that's the scary thing is Elon Musk knows a lot more about currency than people give him credit for. The guy founded PayPal. He is the original PayPal. It was X.com and Coinfinity, and they merged together and created PayPal, and X.com was Elon Musk. And so he knows a lot more. They might have been working on blockchain before blockchain was even blockchain. So Elon Musk knows a lot about this. And so I just don't know the whole situation about how Elon Musk like pretends like he doesn't know and he plays like jokey games sort of thing about crypto. I think he knows a lot more than he puts off. I really do. But I mean, it's not this. I mean, Elon Musk is definitely a genius, like 100% a genius. I am nowhere near that guy's level, but I can tell you that, I mean, he's a genius, but here's a genius that told you that you could buy Teslas with Bitcoin. Now, I'm not a genius like Elon Musk, right? But I can tell you if you buy Tesla with your Bitcoin, you created a taxable event where you lose 40% of your money. So if you bought a Tesla for 50 grand or whatever, you bought a Model 3 for 50 grand and you paid for it in Bitcoin that you got for 1,000 or 3,000 or whatever, you created a huge taxable event where you got to add 40% on top of that 50 grand. So really you just paid, what is that, like 70, 80,000, 85,000 for that car that's 50 grand. That's the problem there. So he's saying, hey, everybody, we're accepting Bitcoin for our Teslas. I'm saying, cute marketing stunt. I'm not doing it. Like, so, I mean, that's where the difference is. I mean, and that's true. I mean, people that are in finance know I'm telling the truth about that. You go buy a Tesla with it and you created a taxable event. I'm telling people, hey, no. Here's what you do. How much is it to finance that Tesla? How much do you keep your Bitcoin? Then you're going to go back over to Tesla and get a loan against that vehicle. That's the way it's going to roll. That's how you're going to do it. And then you're not going to pay that 40%. You're going to keep that entire 40%. You got a 40% cushion on your Bitcoin position that can pay the interest of, what is it, 7%, 6-7%? So yeah, you got 40% of cushion now. Of course you can afford the interest rate on this Bitcoin. Then you're going to pay your monthly bill, and you don't even need to leverage that much of your Bitcoin. You just need enough for a down deposit on the Tesla. Then you just pay the monthly bills. And not only that, but then you're going to build credit because you're paying the monthly bills on your Tesla. So you're building credit by leveraging against your Bitcoin by paying them the credit off. And you're also building credit off of your Tesla that you used with credit against your Bitcoin to buy the Tesla. But Elon Musk is saying, we're accepting Bitcoin. Mark Cuban, we're accepting Dogecoin, because they're using it as a marketing stunt. I'm trying to drop the real information on how to preserve the wealth. And you guys, after you get out of my video, research it yourself. And then tell me, put it in a comment if you don't believe me. Say, I did my own research. It didn't make sense. Or you do your own research and you realize I'm telling the truth. Up to you. So it's just, and then the fact that here's the biggest concern too, is they're trying to raise the capital gains level. So you don't get enough tax money already. It's like, what is that even going to do? It's going to raise, you got a $30 trillion deficit from printing all this money. It probably is over 30 trillion at this point. I haven't even looked at the US debt clock right now. It's probably over that. You have that much of a situation on the debt rising and what, raising the capital gains up 5% or whatever, that's going to help that? No, it's not. That's a grain of sand on the beach. That doesn't help them at all. It doesn't help the economy at all. It doesn't help them pay off their debt at all. It's not going to change anything if you have the capital gains just a bit higher. If they could put the capital gains at 100%, say they tax people at 100%, they only take in $3 trillion a year. So then they'd make $6 trillion a year, hypothetically. Probably not, because everybody would be broke and the economy would crumble. But let's say, just hypothetically, this is the situation. It would still be only $6 trillion while they're still overspending year over year, and it's at over, what is it, 30 trillion now in the deficit. So yeah, it's not going to help. Raising the capital gains isn't going to help at all towards cutting down the deficit. All it does is hurt the working class. And it's such like it's like this weird thing where they say they're getting at the rich. The rich just park their money in assets and create non-taxable events. So the entire Dogecoin crowd, if you can learn anything from Dogecoin, is just learn what taxable events are. Read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That's not my book. I have no upside in telling you that. Besides, Robert Kiyosaki would love an interview one day, man. That's my goal, is if I do get enough subscribers and I grow my YouTube channel, I'd love to be able to talk with people like Michael Saylor and Robert Kiyosaki and the people I really look up to and idolize. That'd be awesome. And that's kind of my ultimate strategy with the YouTube, is to be able to talk to my idols. Because I have like questions that they're always saying the same things in the interviews, and I feel like it gets annoying, and I want to talk to them about other stuff. So I'd really love to be interviewing with them and like talking with the people I idolize. But yeah, Robert Kiyosaki that book will teach you everything about what you need to know about leveraging and all of that. And then you'll read that book, you'll come back to this video and go, you were telling the truth. I believe you now. But I mean, that's really is the genuine information. Dan Smith, it's not 40%, bro. It's 15% up to 441K. I'd look a little bit more into the details on that, because the people who are up on Dogecoin are within a year on their capital gain, which is taxed at a different level. So you got to look a little bit more into the details of that. So look a little bit more into it. And then on top of that, you got to add into your state taxes as well. So trust me, they whenever you think it's not much, they end up getting you somehow. You got to look at the real numbers. I'm just talking about what I have to if I drop it. Dogecoin will hit $1, believe. Let's see, where is Dogecoin right now? Hang on. Let's look. Let's see if we can get back up to 60 cents, It's at 56 cents right now. Dogecoin is at 56 cents, so it's down 20%. I mean, at least it's not like plummeting. It's still holding at some level, so maybe it is possible to get to $1. I would much rather have Bitcoin. I mean, that's just where I'm at. I know I mean, could you, I wouldn't be able to sleep tonight if I was that Dogecoin millionaire guy. There's no way I could sleep. No way. I would be losing it. Yeah. He probably still has over 2 mil. Man. Let's go through some. We'll do a few more comments here. I think I'm at an hour and 30 minutes. An hour and 30 minutes in this live stream. See, maybe that is Ultimate. Ultimate says, I hope it plummets again. So he can get in again. Maybe that's the move. I don't know. Maybe that's Elon's strategy. Maybe he gets it to drop, buys in a bunch. Who knows what happens, I just hope that, maybe Elon Musk announces that he's going to be the bank of Tesla and he will allow you to leverage your Dogecoin. I mean, he could do that. He's got a $15 billion treasury. He could allow people to get loans against their Dogecoin against the Tesla treasury or something. Maybe he announces something like that. You never know. You never know. I mean, there is a the thing is, like, I never in my wildest dreams expected Dogecoin to go from 8 cents to 50 cents. I mean, so let's just even put the bar at 50 cents. That's impressive. So regardless if it fell 20%, I'm not going to come on a live stream and be like, it fell 20%. It's SNL thing wasn't anything. It's like, no, it's still up there quite a bit, and it's pretty impressive. So I mean, all I can do is just share that I don't believe it's a currency, nor will it ever be a currency. So I just wanted to share that and to look into what an asset versus a currency really is. And I would consider it an asset that you can't leverage, which is not what you want. So Dan Smith, I'm an accountant, man. It's 15% capital gains tax up to 441K and 20% if you make more than that. It's capped at 20%. What's the less than a year capital gain? Because most people are up on Dogecoin over the last 2 months. It changes when it's less than a year. So you could be an accountant, but I'm going to counter that it's less than a year. It's a different rate at less than a year. And there's also state taxes. There's also all kinds of taxes when you sell something like that. You're going to be in a rough position when you sell and declare that kind of a gain. So Joe Rose says you don't talk of Ethereum up 32x in 1 year. I do talk about Ethereum. Ethereum is the only programmable cryptocurrency. You know, it's like it's Stussy. Yeah, I mean, it's true that less than a year capital gain, it's taxed at a different rate. So I mean, I'm just trying to be, and everybody who's up a lot on Dogecoin, it's less than a year, so it's different. But hang on, let me get through some of these comments. Dogecoin. Wait. There's one comment I was reading here, and Ethereum is what we're talking about. Well, it's the thing about Ethereum is it's not the only programmable money, but it has the largest team for developing a programmable money for smart contract deployment. So it's pretty powerful stuff. The thing is, it's like, you got to get an adoption. The reason I'm not talking about Ethereum right now is because it's still speculative until I see like an Amazon. If Amazon decided, hey, we're going to use, Ethereum to make our own tokenized software with Amazon, and we're going to accept Ethereum, and like that would be a breakthrough for me. I would look at that and go, okay, yeah, I'm all in on Ethereum. You know, if Elon Musk started talking about Ethereum and finding a way to use smart contracts to the best of its abilities, because everybody's talking about ways to use smart contracts, but none of them are really viable. Otherwise, they'd be using them. They would be doing it. Like one of these big companies would be using the smart contracts. And I just don't see it implemented enough yet for me to sink my teeth into it. So that's why I'm all in on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is like my sidelines bet. That's how I look at Bitcoin. It's like I'm on the sidelines watching. And when I do see the opportunity, if I see a building I want to buy and a good building hits the market, I can go, okay, give all of my Bitcoin to the institution and get a loan against it. We're going to buy the building. Like whatever, I'm looking at it like it's sidelines money that's going up in value steadily. And to be fair, making 10% on the money that I have in Bitcoin is substantial, and making 10% on like $1,000 is not very substantial. It doesn't change your life making $100 on $1,000. So I'm looking at it from a different perspective of compounding a large amount of money. But if I was looking to make my initial nest egg, I would be far more interested in taking more gambles, I would think. I'm right now at the stage of the game that I'm in right now. I'm interested in building my company. I'm interested in making 20% a year. If I make 20% a year, that's crushing it for me. Like really crushing it. And like my quality of life can't get any better at 20% every year compounding. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm not looking for hundreds of percent returns. So if that's what you think that I'm looking for right now, it's not. I think Bitcoin could easily get to gold's market cap, which would give it, roughly 10x from here. But I think that's probably a process of the next 5 years, 4 or 5 years, which I got that time. So that's how I feel about it. My aim, like I always say, like everybody puts that aim at $1 million. You're not going to get to making $1 million if you don't learn how to make 5-10 grand consistently on your own every month. So the aim, set the aim lower. Don't set your aim at, oh, Dogecoin's going to the moon. It's going to $5. Figure out how to turn your capital and make 10% on it. Figure out how to make 5-10 grand a month consistently, because then your quality of life changes at those levels. That's just how I feel about it. I just, these are all just thoughts off the top of my head. I haven't had any script here or anything about it, but if somebody talks to me about how they have this brilliant idea about how to make 10x returns on their capital, I'm very skeptical of that. I'd rather take the straight and narrow approach and be able to sleep at night. Cause like, let's be real. This guy who's got 3 million in Dogecoin, for example, I got a lot of money in silver and platinum and Bitcoin. I sleep like a baby. Not usually, because there's too much caffeine in me. But usually if I want to sleep, I sleep like a baby. But I'm not stressed. Let's say that. So I'm not stressed. And so this guy let's be real. Like all the people in this live stream, there's a lot of Dogecoiners in this live stream. I'm sure of it. And so let's be real. This guy's not sleeping well. He just saw $3 million turn into like 1.8, 2.2 or something. You're not sleeping very well. You're losing life-changing money that takes the middle class like 8 years to build. He's losing that in an hour. Like it's like that takes that takes a lot longer than that, because let's say you make 100 grand a year, you probably only keep 20 of that, 10 of that if you're lucky. So to make 800K, it's like it's going to take a lifetime of work, a lot of work to build that up. And so he's losing that every hour. Losing that or gaining that every other hour. It's like, yeah, you're not sleeping very well. With my silver, I'm consistently I'm trying to hit my 20% target. I'm trying to hit my 20% a year. I've so far way outperformed that. I was buying big in silver in the mid-teens, and silver right now has doubled from there. So, I mean, that's in a little bit over a year. So my silver position is way crushing my 20% small target. I leave my target low and I try to outperform my target. And usually I do when I do that. And so keep the target low and really, try to outperform that lower target. But don't go, I'm going to make $10 million in 2 months. And that's what this Dogecoin guy's doing. And you know what? It bums me out because he's such a cool cat. He's a really cool cat. He's a very, very likable individual, and so I hope that he keeps a large amount of it, and I hope he's able to build a brand off of it. He's starting his own YouTube page, and I wish the guy a lot of success, because he seems like a really nice guy and he seems like he deserves it. He was living really beneath his means in that video and just seems like a really cool guy. So it's hard for me to want him to lose. I don't want him to lose. He kind of deserves it if he didn't sell any ahead of this event, but I want to see the guy do well. But yeah, I think it is a gambler's high type situation. Imagining Rob in his romper suit with a pacifier. The funny thing is, it's this chair. People think because the chair, I like the high chair. The high chair is comfortable. I'm in my comfortable place here, but I'm actually 5'11". I'll tell you, I'm 6 foot from my ego, but I'm actually 5'11". People think I'm like 5'4" because of the chair, but little do they know. We'll go through, I wasn't expecting this to be a 2-hour live stream, guys, but I'll stay in here with you all. If you want me to stay in here, where are we at? 300 likes. I'll end this live stream at 150. If you want me to stay a little longer, maybe if we get it to 400 likes or something, I'll stay longer. It's up to you guys, but I usually cut out the live streams about this time, if not a little sooner. So if you want me to be here, throw some likes up there so I know that you want me to be here. Otherwise, I'll go put myself to bed and put my pacifier in and everything like that guy said. He's imagining me in a romper suit and a pacifier. That'd be a good somebody. Hang on, I like your show. If you want to have me on, hit me up. Sussy, shoot me a DM on Instagram. If you want to see like my silver bar collection, or if you want to see some more of my like just day-to-day content, I'm on Instagram, Rob Sultan on Instagram, just one word, you can't miss it. Just type it on Instagram, shoot me a follow there. And if you have any questions, if I missed your comment in here, if you have any questions, shoot me a DM on Instagram, at Rob Sultan on Instagram. I talk about precious metals. I talk about all kinds of stuff. And that's my main business is mineral exchange. I own mineralexchange.com. Also own mineralx.com. If you guys, I'm a big fan of Elon Musk. You know, he's owned SpaceX. I own MineralX. That was a hard one to acquire. That was a hard .com to acquire. And so those are the types of things that I work on every day, is building my company and that kind of stuff. But yeah, if you shoot me a DM on Instagram, I'll do my best to get back to you. Sometimes I get a lot of DMs and it's hard for me to get back to all of them, but I do my best. Zane, I'm a very on the YouTube I'm vocal and I'm public on the YouTube, but in my day-to-day life I'm a serious introvert. So I like to be a hermit crab. I don't really let people come into my spaces, but I appreciate the offer, man. Maybe at some point in the future when I get to the next building. I am looking to upgrade my building soon, so maybe in the future we'll talk about it. I'm new to this and I'm learning a lot. Great tips. 5% Crypto Club. You know, I love to hear that. And thank you for writing that too, man, because it really makes my day when I hear that it actually helps people, you know. Tree climber. I was 5'11", and 5'11" was a nice height. Then I grew 4 more inches. It sucked. I don't know, man. People, they say that makes you a lot more attractive to be 6'3" or something. I always say 6 foot just for my ego, but I'm really 5'11". Hang on. Let me. Physical silver is at $5 an ounce. Physical silver at 5 an ounce. Have 4,000 ounce and 36 ounce between 250 and 950 ounce of gold. 10 ounce. Oh, you're just saying what you have. Well, nice. Congrats, man. Or he says back in the day. See, you should have held on to that. Look what happened with those. Silver right now, you said at $5. Now it's at almost 30. Well, it's over 30 if you include the premium for physical silver. But the rhodium, I swear I can't even talk about rhodium. People always ask me about rhodium, but I'm like so bummed out about it. I had a deal with these Baird 1 ounce rhodium bars. I think I paid at the time $2,500 each for them, and I had 10 of them. So I was into them for $25K. I had 10 and I sold them, and I think I sold them for like 26 or 27 and made a sliver of a margin on it. And then whenever I think about rhodium, I go, no, threw away like hundreds of thousands of dollars on that. Should have kept those. Rhodium was like the Bitcoin of metals. It really was. Same thing with palladium. I got a lot of palladium now though. Palladium I find to be interesting. Poof the hair up an inch and you're at 6 feet. See, that's my trick. See, now you guys know why I do that. You know, I do that just for my ego so I can get to 6 feet. You caught me. That's what I do. Valhalla. That's my strategy. I just can't let them put the ruler and like put it down, you know? And now I am a hoarder, Salvatore. I'm a squirrel to the core. Got all kinds of stuff squirreled away, squirreling around my warehouse every day. That's all I do. Just squirrel around here. The man is hooked directly into the Fed and lectures us about what money is. Hey, I love you, Stussy. I appreciate you being here, man. I do my best. You know, I do my best. I don't know everything. And I'm learning a lot as I go along. But I do my best to share the little bit of information that I do know. And I want to do videos where, like, in my videos, I'm not editing them. I'm not like a video of, I don't know how you guys do it, to be honest with you. I don't mean to put down these channels. I don't mean to be mean about it. But when I'm watching a video of hands, like just hands, it's like so hard for me to watch the video. I mean, I guess you can just listen to it and put the audio in and learn from that. But it's like, I do my best to spread real information that I think will help people. And I also wanted to make like a cool set so that it's actually like a real intuitive type experience when we do these live streams. And I really love being able to do these, and I'm excited about how I can actually read the comments in real time, and now I have this I have my little wireless mouse here, so I can actually scroll through the comments while I'm doing the live stream, and then I also have it connected to I got that new Mac M1 chip or whatever, the Mac Mini, and then I connected that directly into the Ethernet. And so then I learned how to put the other thing is like tinkering with the OBS so you have the right kilobit rate and all of that so the stream is good. How's the quality been in this live stream? You know, yesterday's live stream and this live stream should be the best quality I've ever done on the sound being like accurate and the video quality, because I've spent a lot of time making it so that I could just click and turn. What, you literally have fake coins and silver bars on your set? Fake coins? What makes you think my coins are fake? Hang on, what? Says who? Says who? Says who my coins are fake, man? Come on, hang on. This guy said my coins are fake. I'll have to clean it. I'm gonna have to clean this up now. Don't call my coins fake ever. Look at them. Come on. Come on. Try me, man. All right, it's getting late, guys. It's getting late. I wanted to do this video to talk about some stuff, and wanted to talk about Doge, wanted to talk about, you know, why I like Bitcoin better, why I think this is going to help Bitcoin, because I think the Dogecoin crowd is going to eventually learn that they can leverage their capital in Bitcoin, and they are going to understand you can buy fractional amounts of Bitcoin. It doesn't matter if it's, you know, 70 cents, 50 cents, 8 cents. It matters what the overall market cap is. That's what matters. And the reason I talked about this yesterday in the live stream is I talked about it because I thought to myself, it's really going to be hard to move a $93 billion needle. And that's how much it was worth when it was in the 70 cents range, the 68, 70 cents range. We're talking about a $90 billion needle of a market cap. It didn't matter that it was only 70 cents. What matters is that the market cap is all the way up at 93 billion, which is a very, very, very lofty market cap, nearly a tenth of the valuation of Bitcoin. That's a big, big amount of money with no institutional investors. The reason why Bitcoin is going up so much is you got institutions piling billions into it. You don't have the same type of institutional investors in Dogecoin. Mark Cuban is just using it for a publicity stunt. These guys are all using it for a publicity stunt. They're not dumping $1 billion into Bitcoin the same way they're dumping $1 billion into Bitcoin. I mean, they're into Dogecoin. They're not dumping $1 billion into Dogecoin like they're dumping $1 billion into Bitcoin. That's why I didn't think that this event would pan out, because I just don't think it's way too hard to move that needle. And so he'd have to be talking about some very, very serious announcement. Now, here's the other thing. Elon Musk is on thin ice with the SEC. He's had multiple problems with the SEC. And I didn't think that he would go out there and say something like, I'm buying a bunch of Dogecoin, and just really put himself in a bad position on a legal standpoint. I didn't think he would do that. And I also thought the market cap was too high to move in it to a large degree. And so if you want to go watch the video I posted yesterday after this live stream, there's some different information, a lot of the same information in that video, but it was prior to the SNL event and what I thought would happen. So then you can kind of judge my point of view accurately, because I dropped that video last night prior to this going down today. And I've stayed the same the whole time. I've said the same thing. Hang on. And I really like this new mic stand. This is way better than the little one I used to have. If you watch my other videos, I had this little mic stand. This thing's better. But you know, guys, there's spammers sometimes in the comments, but I want you to know about me that I'm not censoring anybody. You know, I let everything roll. I mean, you see that? Actually, no. It's the thing is, what's good about leaving the spammers up. If anybody asks you to contact them on some, you know, app or whatever and puts their number in the comments, it's a scam. Don't do it. Just please don't fall for that. I have literally made videos on the subject to try to let more people know about that. I made a video about it, but there's two different scams I see on YouTube. And if you look out for these, it's one of them. They act like they're complimenting the video, and then they do this long paragraph. And at the end of it, they say, contact this person. So that's a scam. Anybody that fakes my profile and uses my thing that's not a highlighted. If you look at the comments, when I post a comment, my tag will be highlighted where it says Rob Sultan. It'll be highlighted. And then I'm actually kind of humbled by it. I'm like, I started this channel less than a year ago, and I got people faking my profile and my name and putting my picture in there to look like wow, I didn't think that would ever happen, you know? But I hope nobody falls for that, because they make it so blatantly obvious that it's a scam. So watch out for that. But don't ever contact. No, I will never solicit you in the comment in any of my videos, period, ever. I will never put a number for you to contact me on some app or something. Never, ever, ever. Don't do it. Tree Climber says, no comment, but great show. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you. But sometimes it's good to leave these scammers up so people know what to look for. You know, like that's why I don't censor my videos. It's like, that's what I believe, and that's why the reason I like YouTube so much. And I know there's some people that say other things as well, and there's some things that they've done that's wrong, I think. But the reason I like the good thing about YouTube, what I really like that it does Facebook doesn't do this, Instagram doesn't do this, Twitter doesn't do this. You can't downvote. YouTube allows you to downvote, and the people should always have the right to upvote or downvote. I really do believe that. That helps so much because you really get an accurate analysis of what people think of that content. If you see the like to dislike ratio, it's the first thing that I look at on a video. Some people say that it doesn't affect the algorithm. It does, because with me personally, when I look at a video and it's all downvoted and it's like 80% downvotes, I don't really want to watch that video because it's probably not a good video. You know, it helps in a way, and that's where you have that type of, it's almost like a individual sovereignty in a way where people still have the power. And I don't like to silence people, even if they're spamming in the comments, even if it's, you know, whatever it is, I still want to be able to let it comment because I just don't believe in silencing anything. I feel like we got to be able to talk, and that's how we learn together. There's people that really disagree with my points of view, and they shouldn't be silenced. They should be able to write a comment. If you notice in my videos, there's people that don't like me. There's people that will say a bad thing about me in the comments, and I'll let it fly. I'm not going to delete it. I let it roll because, I don't know, it is what it is. I think we need more than two emotions to rate videos. Just my 2 cents. No, I think it should just be up or down on YouTube, because they're just like, sometimes people will like on Facebook, like they'll use that laughy face thing, and it like just is like a kind of insulting type of thing. I think that they should just be able to downvote, upvote. It's like downvote, upvote, you know, write a comment. I think that, I think that if anything, you can remove the upvotes and the downvote situation. And I think that it should be there indefinitely. And you just leave it. That's like part of the platform or something. Like I would do that personally. And I would also make it affect the algorithm in a way or something like that, where it, like, if you have, anyway, this is completely off the subject. See, if you get me talking super late at night, I'll start talking about random stuff, and, you know, I'll get in different categories of things, but, let's one last update here on where Dogecoin ended up at after all of this. It's at 55 cents. It's down 22%. Again, it's not like a told you so type situation. It can't be a told you so type situation because they're up tremendously. They went up from 8 cents from when I was really bashing on Dogecoin, was really against it, calling it doggy coin, all this stuff at 8 cents because I know I can't leverage it. And I know it's an inflationary coin. There's all these things about it that I don't like. And that's the reason I'm in Bitcoin. But at the same time, it ended up going over 50 cents. So even though it's down 22%, I'm still wrong about it. Like, I can't say I'm right just because I said to sell half yesterday at 70 something cents. It's still up way more than when I didn't like it. So I have no right to say told you so or anything. I've been wrong about it. But I wanted to spread some information that you might not know if you're from the Dogecoin crowd. Wanted to spread some information, and that was that. People are saying SNL is cringe. I mean, if anything, the real winner, I said this earlier in the video, the real winner was SNL. You know, Elon Musk brought them a ton of viewers, you know? So the real winner was SNL that somehow managed to pull that off. I don't know why Elon Musk wouldn't just, the thing is, it's like, why would Elon Musk need to go on SNL? Here's the other thing, and this is something I was thinking about too, and I wanted to share this. It's like, really wrap your mind around this. This will be the last point in the video before we call it a night. I mean, we're at 2 hours on this live stream. This is actually, I should have said this. I always say the best point at the end of the video for some reason, but this is what's wild to me. On an entire, so if you were to accurately say how many views SNL gets in the comments right now, how many viewers at one point when Saturday Night Live comes on without Elon Musk, how many viewers are on SNL? Just watching a normal SNL episode. What, maybe 100,000? 100,000 viewers at once would be pretty good. Like all the news outlets, they usually get about 100, 200, maybe 300,000 viewers at once when they go live on the television. It's not like YouTube where we see the views racking up. On television, they just go by how many viewers are watching it at once. So at one time, SNL is definitely in the hundreds of thousands. Definitely only in the hundreds of thousands, right? Elon Musk can do a tweet that reaches out to hundreds of millions of people, if not the entire world, with one tweet. Like, if that's not a mind-opening moment for you, Elon Musk doesn't need SNL to pump Dogecoin. He's Elon Musk. He needs his phone in his pocket if he wanted to really make a movement in Dogecoin. So the whole philosophy that he's going to do some crazy thing on SNL, all he needs to do is go on Twitter and say, Tesla's buying Dogecoin. Like, come on, guys. Come on. This guy reaches out to way, way, way more people than SNL does. Like, that is unbelievable that people would buy that. It's like, dude, it doesn't make any sense to me. I can't, it doesn't, I don't, he doesn't need any platform. He can go on a live stream. He could literally do an interview with a way bigger YouTuber. He could go on Meet Kevin, right? Meet Kevin's got like 2 million people, way more viewers than SNL does. So he could go on a big YouTube channel. He can go on Patrick Bet David's channel anytime he wanted. Whatever top YouTuber's channel he wanted to go on, he could go on that, do an interview, and get way more real information out there than cracking a joke on a dying brand that's a TV channel. Like, let's really wrap our minds around this from a logical perspective here. Like, what were we really expecting here? Because he's got way, way more reach than SNL can ever give him. Like, that's the truth. That's some real, true information. He could do way more than go on SNL. So it's like, why were we believing that SNL was going to be some big event? Guys, all the guys in Dogecoin, I'm rooting for you at this point. Like, I was really against Dogecoin, but the thing that I can do is I can respect when I lose. Like, you gotta, when you can't be that person that like when you're wrong about something that you go hide in a corner and pretend like you weren't wrong about it and you were always right. It's like, no, I thought it was not going to go up to 50 cents. So even though it's down 20% or whatever, like, I was wrong. I didn't think that was going to happen with it. I thought it was just a meme stock and I underestimated the potential of it. At this point, you know, I'd rather just talk about the real stats. So I'm kind of like, I'm hoping that this Dogecoin millionaire guy is able to get out of it and put some money in Bitcoin or put that money in the bank and be able to build a company with it and make some cash flow and keep the money. I'm rooting for him. I don't want him to lose his money. I'm not short Dogecoin. I have no reason to not like it. If anything, I hope that the Dogecoin situation helps more people learn about cryptocurrency and helps grow the space. Because my ultimate goal, like I said, if there was one closing argument I want to make in my live stream, like the last statement I really want to make is that we need to be more camaraderie. There needs to be more camaraderie across the entire world, not just in the United States, all across the world. There needs to be more camaraderie and less bashing of each other. There has to be more people getting along. And the ultimate enemy, the real problem, is the people that are stealing money, like, or the people that are the ones who are diluting our money and the ones who are not paying any interest on the free loans that we give them. That's what the problem is. So it's not about being Bitcoin better than Dogecoin, which I would much rather be in Bitcoin and I put my money where my mouth is. But to me, the larger picture is sharing this information with this new crowd getting into the crypto space. Not your keys, not your coins. That's rule number 1 of Crypto Fight Club. You know, the first rule of Fight Club, don't tell people about Fight Club. First rule about Crypto Club, not your keys, not your coin. That's some true stuff right there. Real information being dropped right there. So you need to know that. If you want to be in the crypto space, learn how to use a cold storage. I'll probably be dropping a lot of videos on using a cold storage on my channel. So if you want to subscribe, shameless plug, but I'm going to be dropping videos like that on my channel. But not your keys, not your coins. Learn how to have your own keys. You can watch many videos other than mine as well about this. And the other thing too is understanding that the real goal should be individual people taking control of their sovereign wealth. Individual sovereignty should be the mission. individuals not getting ripped off by banks, giving them 0% on their capital for a free loan that you're giving the bank that gives them the power to short things like GameStop, to short things like Dogecoin. It gives them the power because you gave them your money for free. Where do we deposit these stimulus checks? Where do they go? Right into the bank, right into the commercial bank, who then gets to do whatever they want with that capital and then give us nothing on it. So we got an ice cube that's melting, and they're multiplying our ice cube while it's melting, and they're giving us water. Speaking of water, I need some of it. But that's all the things I really wanted to talk about in this video. I hope there was some good information for you. If I missed some of your comments, shoot me a DM on Instagram, at Rob Sultan on Instagram. Shoot me a DM. I like to go through those in the morning. I missed some of them. If it's like the one thing I ask is if you shoot me a DM, just make it kind of short so I can get through them. When I get the long kind of paragraph ones, it's hard for me to get through all of that, and sometimes I'll skip over that and go to one that I can actually reply to it in a decent amount of time. But I will inevitably get back to you at some point. I will do my best to. If I haven't gotten back to you at some point, I will. But if I miss Thomas Anonymous, do you treat your water? Wow, that's a pretty good. Not only do I treat my water, I reverse osmosis, then I distill my water, and then I add my own minerals and my own electrolytes to my water. It's funny you say that. I don't know how you caught that about me, but yeah, I'm like super weird about my water. I missed a super chat. Hang on. Let me scroll. Vinny he just gave me $5. I appreciate that, Vinny. Thank you. But I don't think he didn't ask a question. Tree Climber, you said no comment, but great show. I saw that one. I never miss the super chats. I do my best not to miss the super chats. But Vinny he just gave a donation. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you. Dennis, wait, it was yours? Hey, Dennis, write the comment again. If I missed it, it must have been a little bit ago and I missed it. Write it again. I'm here. I see your name, Dennis. Shoot, write the comment again. I'll watch for it right now. I'll stay live for a little bit. I actually, people say alkaline water. I actually like distilled more. I think distilled is better. You sure, Dennis? I'm here, man. I'm here. I don't like missing the super chats. I'm here, man. Let me see. All you need, man, make your own financial decisions. Always asking YouTube. No comment. Happy to contribute. Keep doing your thing, man. Vinny, you're the man. Thank you. I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me. But yeah, I mean, those are the last things I wanted to say, really. People got to start banding together and understanding, how instead of looking at things with the blinders on and looking with tunnel vision, look at who controls the tunnel. Like, think bigger picture. Think entire monetary system. Don't think Dogecoin versus Bitcoin versus silver versus gold. Think entire monetary system. Think hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of trillions of diluted fiat currency out there that's back to nothing. Think about that. Think about banks taking our money and giving us no interest again despite the inflation rate going up. Those are the things that we need to be thinking about. Not which coin is better, not if silver's better than gold or gold's better than Bitcoin. That's not the argument. The argument should be, how do we get our sovereignty? How do we control our money again? How do we get a fair deal from these banks so that we can actually compensate for the inflation rate so we don't end up with an ice cube melting into nothing? Because the dollar's lost 99% of its buying power since the inception of the Fed, and that's not right. So the banks got to do something to counteract that, and they haven't. So those are the things that we need to band together, and that should be the movement. Not just Doge, not just Bitcoin, not just silver. It should be the movement is learning how to, have our sovereignty again. And that's what being a libertarian is. And so those are the philosophies that I really believe in, and I hope that you all have a great rest of your evening. It cracks me up when people say nothing of, this guys, hang on. It cracks me up. People think, this isn't even a lot of silver. I don't even need that's not even, this is only like, it's not even that much silver. There's 8 kilos of silver or something like that. and then a few, I don't know, there's like 10, 20 grand of silver. It's not, I don't mean that I don't, to me, I sell silver for a living, so it's not that much silver. I wouldn't have fake silver on my desk. But thank you all so much for being here. I hope that there was some real information. I will see you all at the next video. This has been a 2-hour, 8-minute live stream. That's a pretty long live stream. That's pretty good. He says, you know, Josh, the funny thing is I understand you don't like me, man. I get it. And I know you want attention. And so but I let it fly because I don't really, I'm not looking to silence people in my live streams, but why do I present it? I'm in the silver business. I own Mineral Exchange. I also wanted to tell people that I love silver and compare it to cryptocurrencies in a way. I wanted to say that I want to be somebody that can be both in tangible investments and cryptocurrency. So that's why I present it. I love silver and I love Bitcoin. I like them both. I think they both should be together. I think they should have a unity. They shouldn't be bashing. They should have a unity between the crowds. The precious metals crowds and the cryptocurrency crowds should have unity and learn how to take their control of their money again and not get a bad deal and protect themselves against hyperinflation. Because I don't think we should be going all in on Doge. I don't think we should be going all in on Bitcoin. I don't think we should be going all in on silver. I think that we should have our decentralized portfolio. And that's not to say I believe in diversification. I believe in intensifying investments that you truly believe in, but I don't believe in putting all of my money on a speculative cryptocurrency or a crypto asset, as I would say it. But that's why I have that out there. I like to share other places to park our money because there isn't that many of them. There really isn't that many options on how we can protect our capital against inevitable inflation. There isn't that many options. Silver's one of them. You know, gold's one of them. Platinum's one of them. Dogecoin is trying to be one of them, and it might succeed. You never know. But Bitcoin, I believe, is one of them. Like, these are the ways that we can protect our capital, real estate, building a business, anything that gets you cash flow. But there really is only there's less than 10 options in today's world. So we have to basically just understand that we need to band together. We need to band together, and we need to understand that we're getting a bad deal from these banks. But that's all the stuff I've repeated myself a million times in this video. But thank you all so much for being here. It means a lot to me. If you can smash that like button, would really appreciate it. Really helps with my channel. But if I miss your comment, shoot me a DM on Instagram at Rob Sultan on Instagram. I post videos of my personal collection on there of different. I buy some old artifacts. I bought an old Dakis tribe artifact. This old gold piece that I showed off on there, and some of my platinum, some of my cool stuff I show off on the Instagram. I'm kind of newer on the Instagram thing, but I plan to be putting a lot more content on the Instagram. So shoot me a DM there, and you can actually message me there. I don't think you can here on this platform, but if you wanted to, just shoot me a DM on Instagram. I'll get back to you there at Rob Sultan on Instagram. Have a great rest of your night, everybody. Thank you so much again for being here. Signing out.